swinging the silver hammer for the second time tonight. And the Dodgers have opened it up in the seventh, leading it 9-1.
Coming up on today's show, Warriors insider John Dickinson joins us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. That'll happen at 9 a.m. to preview the Kings-Warriors matchup this weekend. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he.
And plenty of other things for us to discuss along the way. But we are efforting in our opening segment to get everything all situated here. As you heard yesterday, out of an abundance of caution, we are in two locations. We got a big week ahead. We want to keep everybody, well, we always want to keep everybody healthy as possible, as we've got a critical week, I think, for Sacramento. You've gone 16 seasons, 17 years without this team in the postseason. And the reward is the defending champion Golden State Warriors. Saturday, game one. Still waiting the totality of all the games and schedules and times. And according to some people from the league office, I think they're waiting on some things for, believe it or not, the Lakers. How about that? Always waiting on the Lakers, aren't we? They do play the play-in game tonight, one of the two play-in games. Today on the show as well, we're going to talk about the value of the play-in. Has that been a good thing for the NBA? We'll get into that. And then more audio, more reaction to what now a lot of people are calling as maybe the most intriguing series of the first round. What we do know, officially, without a debate, it has become the most expensive ticket in NBA history for the first round. And for those of you that have tickets, good for you. For those of you that are still looking for tickets, I think you can get them, but it's going to take some work. It's going to take a hefty amount of dollars, and if you want in, you want in. I'm not saying it's worth it or not, but obviously the tickets have been scooped up. I think there were some opportunities yesterday for people to get tickets if you got them. Let us know, too, if you've done that. I would be curious via our text line at 916-339-1140, certainly on our YouTube chat. Let us know if you have tickets secured for any of the four games, right? It could be game 1, game 2, game 5, game 7. Some of you, I had seen this, and it might be a smart play, have tried to purchase tickets in San Francisco. Might be easier, might be cheaper. That's crazy, right? The initial thought was, man, you got to come here because, the tickets would be cheaper here, but that has not been the case. It's supply and demand. There is a demand. You go 17 seasons or 17 years without making the playoffs. People want into that game, and it's going to be fun. And the funny thing is, I've heard this a lot, and I think I understand it, but I also don't know that I fully comprehend the phrasing and the sentiment behind it. A lot of people have said, I've got to get to game 1. I've got to be at the first playoff game. I think there's something about us culturally, society-wise, just inherently that you want to be at the first opportunity. I don't want to say that game 1 is irrelevant because that is not my point. But generally, as the series go along, game 2, game 5, if that were the case, heck, if there's a game 7, that's the biggest game of any series. So we will see how that all goes. But a lot of you want to get there. I don't blame you. If you can, good on you. I hope you got there and have a chance to get there. If not, you know where you can find the games? Right here on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports 1140. Well, I do see Dave again, but I don't know that we have Dave just yet.
Yep, you got me.
There you are.
You
Hi,
know,
Dave.
lesson to everyone. Don't, when your daughter has to do a thing for school, just don't let her use your equipment, please, because I'm going crazy over here. And good morning, everybody. I'm going crazy over here. Trying to find out why my little sound bars are moving. Everything's great. Everything's fine. I can hear everything, or I can see everything. I just can't hear everything. All that. And she muted the feed. So
sometimes it's the most simple thing.
Anyone who's ever gone through that, whether it's in this business or otherwise, you go through like checks and balances for everything. That was like literally my last one. Good morning to you. Good morning to Jay. If you are just tuning in, I am here day 2 of a mini quarantine. I think I'll be back. I hope, knock on wood, I will be back with my dear friends in studio tomorrow. And I heard you talking about the ticket prices, Jason. I would just like to reiterate, I'm basically a ticket master now on Twitter. Like
I see that. Has it worked? Have you brokered any deals?
No, seriously, like, and it's actually great. It's what I was hoping for is, brokering, basically just, it's like match.com, but for tickets and Kings fans to try to prevent them from going to Warrior fans. The problem is that now we've got like scam artists rolling in that are, hey, check me out on Instagram. I have tons of tickets for $20. And I hope that doesn't happen, but we're making a little bit of progress.
Well, that's good. And, the hard part is look, I'm following all this as well as a season ticket holder, and I'm seeing Kings fans trying to get Kings fans in there, and that's great. But then I'm also seeing that same group of Kings fans going, well, yeah, but I'm also trying to make a ton of money. So it's a weird one, but hey, if I could choose, Dave, I want all Kings fans in there. I know that won't be the case, but the more we can get, the better off it'll be.
It's always what you do when no one's looking. I'm not going to shame anybody for trying to make a ton of money, but I don't know. I saw somebody yesterday. It was on that same feed I was telling you about. I think they were $250 face value. It was a Kings fan. They wanted to sell to other Kings fan for $1,000 a pop. I know this isn't the right thing to say, but honestly, I'm good watching at home, dude. I let everyone listen. If you got to be there, you got to be there. God bless you, but I'm watching at home.
Yeah, and we had some other people, I think, on our YouTube say, I hope this isn't a sign of things to come. Well, it might be, I would say, for this year. I'm not saying they're going to go down drastically in years to come. Well, the point is, I think if you could get that first batch of tickets, if you're lucky to get a ticket through the initial pricing through the Kings, I think that's, I'll do air quotes, relatively fair. Yeah. But it's the aftermarket that's just getting crushed.
Honestly, if people, and I've seen the Kings take a lot of strays for this. Mm-hmm. If you want to blame someone or some entity, it's this. There's a reason why they keep popping back up, and it's Ticketmaster, who has a monopoly. You're looking at. I was looking at some receipts people were sending out yesterday for ticket prices, and obviously these are the more expensive tickets. But I saw one. It was like a $2,200 service fee.
Wow.
The service is I understand it costs money to build and maintain a computer program and employees. Sure. Yeah, I get that. I get business. I understand at least that part of it, but it's ridiculous. It's pricing people out. And honestly, the people that are having the best postseason, it's not the Kings, it's not the Warriors, it's not us, it's not their fans, it's Ticketmaster, who just sits back and it doesn't matter. They're making money hand over fist, and there's nothing right now. People need to straight up boycott, revolt, do something with Ticketmaster, because it's been ridiculous for decades.
Yeah, and even the other, and I'm sure by you doing Dave Ticketmaster here, kind of brokering everybody. The other thing I've seen is, well, I want to get tickets for game 2 or even 3 and 4 in San Francisco, but when are the games? And because the schedule hasn't fully been released, the only thing we know is Saturday, 5:30. Others like, well, I could go if it's this day or that day. I've heard that mentioned a couple times in my mentions.
It's a little bit weird that they shoot themselves in the foot. And this isn't on the Kings. This is on the NBA. They should have released a full schedule for all the series day of. And obviously you've got if possibles, and you can move those dates up for the second round if necessary. But I always felt like have a static, straight schedule for all the series. And if you happen to win early, then you get a few days off. Another thing I want to repeat throughout the process, throughout the show, did some digging yesterday. I know a lot of people they very much who can't get in want to go down to Doco, watch the games. We're hoping that they'd be on TV screens or whatever. I was told yesterday that's not happening. That's an NBA rule. That's not a Kings rule. They very much wanted to put the games on the screens outside for people to gather in Doco. The NBA has said no to that, and one of the major things was they had a number of incidents. I'll bet you there's a lot of people right now going, well, hold on a second. They did that in Milwaukee.
I'm thinking the exact thing so what's going on?
Apparently they had a number of incidents in Milwaukee that didn't work. Some gun incidents, some other things pretty serious. And the NBA is not wanting to be a part of encouraging crowds like that. So the word was, whether it's Sauced, a number of other places around there, watch the games in there, and then of course free to gather in Doco. I think that's unfortunate. I hate that some small, some dumb people can ruin it for everyone, and fans are they got a lot of ingenuity. I have a feeling they'll figure something out.
Yeah, they're creative. All right, we're getting started here. We're going to go ahead and break here. I know we kind of got disjointed to begin, but we got everything going. We go all the way till 10 today as usual. When we come back, obviously we didn't have the Kings. We didn't have the Warriors last time. We didn't have the NBA playoff basketball. How did you fill your sports void? Probably if you're Dave, you're trying to make ticket deals for people and others. But we've got that and more as we're just getting started here on Sactown Sports 11.
It's Cattles and Rami.
He's using Irish Spring bars in 2023.
They still sell them, so obviously enough people.
I feel like between your Irish Spring and your CBS TV shows, you're a whole nother demographic, man.
Wow. And between you taking your shoes off to poop and using a loofah, you're also a different demographic.
I think most people are pooping shoeless, though.
No.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram in Woodland. What's going on for Ram Truck Month, Chad?
Big savings and even better financing. Save up to $11,500 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s. Plus, financing as low as 1.9%. That's thousands more in savings on the truck you've always wanted. And we have over 400 new Ram trucks available, so you're sure to find your perfect truck.
Well, what if we're looking to save a few bucks at the pump?
We've got you covered there, too, with up to $14,000 in net savings when you lease a 2023 Jeep Wrangler Sahara 4xe for only $459 a month for 36 months and only $1995 due at signing. This is easily one of the best plug-in hybrids you can get.
And that is why Hoblet has so many great customer reviews. They make you feel like family. Stop by for a test drive today or search, select, and save through their whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
11,500 total net savings after 5,500 factory rebates and 6,000 dealer discount. Rebates include 2,000 Chrysler Capital bonus cash. Must finance through Chrysler Capital qualify. 500 on the job uplift for business owners. Special 1.9% financing available for 36 months on free credit through Chrysler Capital. 14,000 total net savings for lessee only. Includes 3,000 my card lease bonus cash. 7,500 hybrid electric Fed tax credit rebate plus 3,500 Hoblet discount. 10,000 miles per year. 25 cents per mile in excess. 5 each net savings. See dealer for details.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
So, Mr. Carmichael Dave, you can hear us okay, correct?
I can.
Did you hear the promo that we just ran of the great Cattles and Rami?
I did.
Actually. Okay, I have to. I mean, this is our wheelhouse here.
Yeah.
So it sounded like what I heard. By the way, Cattles and Rami 2 to 6 every day, right here on Sactown Sports. So apparently Nick uses Irish Spring and watches CBS shows. That was intriguing. And then Rami with the loofah and poops with the shoes off.
Yeah. First off, props to them for, afternoon shows are usually like sports. We'll take your phone calls on sports. Good for them for going off track a little bit. And I heard yesterday, by the way, I got blown up at some point because Nick was talking about the big morning show, afternoon show feud. And really specifically me and Nick. You're an innocent bystander.
Oh no, it's me and Rami right
you
now.
And Rami
This time it's for real.
Huge feud, by the way, just massive. I don't know. I love Rami, love him. No clue what he's talking about. And we've had we've had ex-employees before, and you know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to blow them up. And by the way, one of which is still incredibly active in local media. The other not. One has to, I think, take his bottom stuff like all the way off in order to go. And then the other one has to be, no, this one had to be completely naked to go. And then the other one has to do it at home and then immediately hops in the shower every time, 100% of the time.
Right.
You know the two I'm talking about.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And it's just, dude, listen, not to get too crazy on a 6/16 Tuesday morning, but when I have a firing solution loaded, I'm not worried about anything other than let me get there and do the thing.
Yeah, if the shoes are off, they're off, but I don't have to make it happen. It's like if they're on, you got to go, you got to go.
Not to mention, it's not logical. I need my shoes on more than anything for traction.
Well, that and I mean, honestly, if you're at home, it's different. But sometimes you may be it might be a road game, and some bathrooms are not safe without shoes.
Yeah, that Rami. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I think that's a Rami thing. What they if they really want to have a good conversation, one of the things that's fascinated me most over the years is do a poll on how many people stand and how many people are sitting down when they wipe. That's always a blast for me because
that's a blast, huh?
It blows me away. When you really think about it, how would you know what other people do unless you ask them? You're not like sitting next to somebody. It blows me away the amount of just unhygienic, disgusting people out there that stand.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them. Jason, there's a lot of them, and they need to be stopped.
Dave's trying to save the world with tickets and from I don't even know the right saying.
Standing and wiping. Just say no to standing and wiping, dude. It's you can't, you don't brush your teeth with your mouth closed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, this leads in beautifully to our next topic, Dave, because it's how do we fill our sports void? Really, with no NBA, no Kings last night. I was really thinking about topics like this. Yeah. It was weird not having the Kings. We said this yesterday. It's gonna be a long week. It's only Tuesday. Game isn't until Saturday at 5:30. Saturday's gonna be a long lead up. It's part of the anticipation. I think that's also, to me, honestly, one of the great parts of sports. It's stressful too, but it's looking so I'm thinking of all the things that Saturday's gonna bring, from Moke's introductions to just how the arena is gonna look, how the game's gonna go, how I'm gonna feel, the anthem. Fox, just whatever. Oh, is Curry gonna make 83? Like I'm thinking about everything, and it'll not play in any of the way that my mind takes me, not exactly. That's part of the excitement to me of sports, is the anticipation of a big event.
We've got many days. Last night was like a preview of, I think, what summer's gonna feel like, except with nothing to anticipate until Hard Knocks. I kind of threw out games 1 and 2, but and game 4, games 1 and 4. I watched games 2 and 3 cover to cover yesterday, and just really took a lot of notes, honestly, on trends, pick and rolls, just kind of. I didn't do any of that. I watched Mandalorian. I caught up on that. I didn't watch a single minute of sports yesterday, and honestly, I'm okay with it. I didn't feel a void, because I know that the plan starts tonight. And honestly, Jason, sometimes I heard this last week, we all need a mental break sometimes. And I needed a mental break yesterday.
I feel like I've been on a little bit of, I don't even want to say shutdown mode on the Kings, because I mean, really, Friday and Sunday wasn't the Kings that have watched and what we're going to be watching. I was doing so much scoreboard watching Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's like, oh, wow, if the Clippers lose here, wait, the Kings might be playing the Pelicans. I mean, I was so engrossed in everything else. Meanwhile, I kept checking out the Kings going, what happened? Wait, they were looking good. They're down 14 to Denver. It doesn't matter. So, and then yesterday, I'm with you. I didn't really take in anything. I watched a little bit of baseball, but hardly any, because it's really like, I will watch the play-ins tonight. But to me, everything, Dave, is really about this Kings-Warriors series right now.
I'm wondering if we can pick somebody. I don't know who it is. It could be a Maloof brother. It could be just somebody.
Really?
No, well, to play. Here's the thing. What if we got to do some fun things for the playoffs? And I'm thinking, like, what if we went major league style and got, maybe it's not a Maloof brother, but whatever, and you put 16 articles of clothing on them, and then you rip one off for every win. Now that
I don't think it's the Maloof brothers.
It's not the Maloof brothers.
Yeah.
Maybe
hey, what if you and I and Jay? Well, Jay already, and you do too. But what if we do? You want to do playoff beards?
Yeah, I mean,
you've already started. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess I have kind of too, but
I need to shave first if we're going to do that.
we could start clean, and then just as long as the Kings are in, we're growing the beards.
The problem there is that by the time, like, let's say that happens,
it could be fast. What, 2 weeks? Could be.
It could be 2 months.
Could
and I'm
be.
saying let's say the Kings won the finals in 7 games, so it goes as long as it possibly could. So I'm just going to look like somebody glued pubes to my face. Jay, semi-similar, but he'll trim it up and use hair color for men or whatever to get it nice and clean.
Wow,
you're gonna look like Vlade at noon,
I guess. But I'm a little Patch Adams though. I get some patchies.
But but doesn't it kind of, if you grow it out? I mean, honestly, Jason, to see you in like a Forrest Gump running across America beard,
full on ZZ top where I'm actually cutting it from like my lower neck. I don't think, I mean, honestly, this is how have things changed since the Kings were last in the playoffs? Dave, now I'm a man. I mean, I was still older, obviously, and I think I'm a late developer. I don't know. I didn't have this kind of facial hair when I was in the 30s, my 30s.
In the 30s?
in the 30s, see?
Well, when you go back and you listen, sometimes we'll play clips of those games and you're on them or whatever, and you can kind of tell because you're like, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. And then somehow you've, like, your voice dropped since then.
I guess so. I'm like, yeah, G-Man, I really like the way Ron Artest is playing tonight.
And you're doing all that. What was amazing is you're in a little bouncer on G-Man with your rattling microphone. Yeah, we got to figure something out today. I'm down. Whether it's a beard, I don't know, something that I don't want to do clothing because then you smell weird and it's not great for anyone.
We'll get you on top of the radio station. I know you wanted to do that before.
Yes. The problem is that we don't want anybody coming down to the radio station for their own safety.
Yeah.
But I still want to do the 24-hour broadcast. It's just a matter of what the folks above me allow me to do. But we'll figure some sort of stunt out.
All right, we'll figure it out. We've got to preview the NBA play-in. We've got Kings and Warriors. Much more to discuss about that. John Dickinson from 95.7 The Game will join us, give us more of a preview of this matchup. When we come back, we debut Safe or Out. What is that? We'll explain next.
Sactown Sports is Sacramento's new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
It feels awesome. We deserve this. Let's go, Niners!
Purdy.
Purdy going to throw, and it is Kittle in the back of the end zone.
Samuel.
Debo 10. Debo. Touchdown!
And McCaffrey.
Touchdown! CMC!
They all live here on Sactown Sports.
Your official home for 49ers football.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Your taxes. But don't worry, Jackson Hewitt is racking up the assists. We guarantee your biggest tax refund and guarantee the accuracy of your return for life. So make a fast break to Jackson Hewitt. Our tax pros will get you filed or get you an extension before the deadline. Beat the clock and the crowds. Come in and file today. When every dollar matters, it matters who does your taxes.
Great team, great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking, when is something too good to be true? when it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for a free personalized arch support fitting and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports Headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The NBA play-in tournament starts today with both an Eastern Conference and Western Conference matchup. The number 7 Miami Heat take on the number 8 Hawks in the East, followed by the number 7 Lakers taking on the number 8 Timberwolves in the West. Of course, the Wolves will be without center Rudy Gobert, who was sent home after punching teammate Kyle Anderson in the final NBA regular season game, and will also be without Jaden McDaniels, who fractured his hand punching a wall in that same game. Keep up to date with all the NBA playoff action at SactownSports.com. In Bay Area baseball, the A's fell to Baltimore yesterday 5-1, and the Giants lost at Oracle Park to the Dodgers 9-1, due in big part to a career-high 7 RBIs from Max Muncy, including this shot in the 7th inning.
So it was spinning and spinning and spinning. Bases loaded. Here's Max Muncy. Drives the first pitch deep to left field. It is back. It is gone. A grand slam for Max Muncy. Maxwell swinging the silver hammer for the second time tonight. And the Dodgers have opened it up in the 7th, leading it 9-1.
Coming up on today's show, Warriors insider John Dickinson joins us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. That'll happen at 9 a.m. to preview the Kings-Warriors matchup this weekend. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
So, Dave, it sounds like we're trying to get hits off Jay Mars here.
Okay.
In safe or out.
That's right.
Jay Mars, you want to lead the way here and safe or out?
Yeah, it's a very simple game. I'm going to ask you a baseball question. You tell me it's safe if you agree or out if you disagree.
Got it.
Ooh, yeah.
I know. It's very original, but I take all the credit for that. So we're going to do it. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. The Rays are now 10-0. This is really good for baseball that a bottom 5 payroll team is good. Safe or out?
You are out of here.
Oh, out, huh?
Couldn't disagree more. It's terrible because let me use a terrible, horrible analogy that uses real life, which you should never do. But it's like if somebody who has money issues and comes from a poor family goes to college and works 10 times as hard and makes it, and then everybody goes, "We don't need to have anything. Look at this person. They made it. Everybody can make it. We're America." Well, okay, you're going to have the one example, the 2 examples, but that doesn't mean the system itself isn't broken. Nobody should effectively start on third base like the New York Mets. There needs to be some sort of help. You know what I'm saying? Some sort of actual way where everybody's got a semi level playing field. We'll never have a completely level playing field. And every time a Rays or an A's or a Twins does something, then the big city crowd goes, "See, you just have to trade right and draft right." It's like, yeah, dude, you don't, because your payroll is $8,000 billion a year.
So you go, I think this is safe, and here's why I say it, because I know for your exact examples, but here's what's great about that is, a lot of people of those fans of the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers that spend all the money, the Padres, they'll say, look, the Rays can do it. The A's have done it before, the Twins, whoever all our examples are. But the way ownership of all those teams react, you know what they do? Let's spend more money. And so then there's more money even going out there, and they don't get it right then, and it helps all the other teams as well. The answer for all the teams with money, how they answer to it, is they spend more, and they still screw it up. So I think these are great stories. I think this is great for baseball. It's safe.
Terrible.
Safe or out?
We've already seen an MLB game this season go under 2 hours at 1 hour and 57 minutes. That was the Marlins and Twins on April 4th. We'll see a game this season that'll last 1.5 hours. Safe or out?
I'm being told that they couldn't hear me over the music, and of course that's very important. You have to be able to hear me, obviously.
I've tuned it way down.
I know, and that's the fault of me being out here. This is a tougher one. I'm gonna say out. Only in an out with barely, you know what I'm saying? Like play at the plate, and they had to go to review. I think it's going to be close. Jay, did you say? Do we know what the fastest game is yet? It's in the 150, right?
No, it was an hour and 57 minutes.
Oh, hour 57. Okay, so and I know there's been a couple of 1-0 games, pitchers duels, all that. We're talking about cutting off almost a half an hour off of this. I don't think so. I think we'll get into the maybe 140s, maybe high 130s, but I doubt it. I think the over-under is probably 144 and a half is how I put it.
Yeah, I'm going to go out too. I don't think it'll be that fast. And I don't know that that's necessarily good. Maybe it'd be a great baseball game that went that fast, but sometimes, these are also events. If you make your time to go to a park, you want to be there for a little bit of time. 90 minutes would be that's too quick, I think, and I don't think we'll get there. But it's impressive that baseball's been able to shave this amount of time. But I'll say out. We won't see it that fast.
Safe or out?
After last night's loss, Logan Webb moves to 0-3 with an ERA of 6.35. The Giants still need to sign him to a massive extension. Safe or out?
It's funny. To your point, Jason, yeah, we're going to get to a point where in 3 years, baseball games will be 26 minutes. Yeah. And then
Maybe we should play 14 innings.
Right. Why am I going?
Yeah.
3 games is way too early, but it is concerning, especially in what amounts to a contract year. I will say this. I'm going to offer this up because there's no real logical reason unless the guy's dealing with – there's 2 things. Is he dealing with an injury? Is he tipping his pitches somehow? But I'm going to go for a third option, guys. He's focused on the Kings in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He doesn't have time for this baseball crap right now. He's trying to light the beam and pitch. That's not going to happen. So I think I think Logan's probably going to stink for another 2 weeks to a couple of months, and then you'll notice when the Kings either win the championship or out of the playoffs for some reason, Logan will be a Cy Young guy again.
Logan probably wants to be done with the championship parade for the Kings, and then he'll be like, all right, I'll start pitching in mid-June. Right? Yeah. I mean, that's when he's ready. Now, to defend him, last night it was the Dodgers. The middle game that he lost was the White Sox. The season opener, he was great against the Yankees, but lost. So, I mean, he's pitched against the Dodgers and the Yankees. I mean, so that's been difficult. But if you're a guy that's a Cy Young candidate and kind of on the back end of that list, he was one of those betting, probably a good prop bet to get in there because he was lower on the Cy Young list. But, I mean, he's their ace. I wouldn't be too concerned with 3 starts. But when you start adding dollars to that, Dave, I mean, numbers are a factor, but he has all the looks of a guy that can be an ace of a franchise.
No, I completely agree. And by the way, shout out to the guy on my Facebook page that I don't really know that tags me, literally me and 47 other people with the Dodgers box score every time they beat the Giants. Like I
found my burner.
Right? Like I don't care, but have at it. The Dodgers are a better team than the Giants. And what? Are we supposed to get fired up about that? Is that a thing?
Max Muncy with 7 RBI, Dave. Like, I want you to react on Facebook.
Safer out bonus question. Max, as a Giants fan, and Jason, you just as a baseball fan, Max Muncy, most hateable Dodger right now?
That's safe. Yeah.
Max Muncy, most hateable Dodger.
Remember when he put one in the ocean against Bumgarner and they were going back and forth?
Yeah, which Dodger, Dave, do you want to punch in the face?
I'm trying to think of one that makes me anger. And I don't like,
or over the years, even like what's the one, like as a Giants fan for life, you're like, oh, I hate, like you think of the Dodgers, you hate the team in general, but is there a Dodger that just kind of symbolizes that?
I mean, honestly, Yasiel Puig always ticked me off.
Lasorda?
But then he got old, and I started to be like, "Oh, like he's cute, like that's fine."
He's cute.
I tried to like hate on Clayton Kershaw, but I can't. I like him. Clayton Kershaw, like actually might be my. If you told me who's your favorite Dodger, which is an even tougher question, it might actually be him. I'm gonna go with Freddie Freeman
because he's Canadian.
Just because screw Freddie Freeman. That's why. Just screw him.
Just
Freddie Freeman sucks.
Yeah.
He probably secretly like punches kittens. I don't know.
Wow. First Frankie kicks dogs. Now Freddie Freeman punches kittens.
Yeah, whatever. Freddie Freeman stinks. Also, I didn't like Brian Wilson in Dodger gear either. That was
a tough watch, huh?
Yeah.
Can we say the most punchable that played for both teams is Jeff Kent?
Yes,
for sure.
100%.
Yeah,
something we can all agree on.
Jeff Kent always had the most punchable face. Ask Barry Bonds. He just always had the most punchable face.
Also, and then they rode Harleys together.
Shockingly, Jeff Kent, like of all the people in history that have ever not been surprising to ride a Harley, Jeff Kent is number one. Jeff Kent's the guy that on Sunday at like 10 a.m. rolls through a nice, quiet suburban area, like with people eating like brunch outside, and he takes the mufflers off his Harley and just revs it, and then looks around to see if anyone's looking at him.
While Warrant Cherry Pie's blasting,
100%. ZZ Top is just going, and he's going to his annual weekly meeting of the Any Club, with his gas or grass no one rides for free bumper sticker on the back. Yeah, get out of here.
And he laughs as someone spilled their coffee and eggs. He's like, I got him.
Jeff Kent does not take fruit in his beer.
No,
Jeff Kent has been shooting cans of Bud Light the last 2 weeks straight. He is very angry about it.
Oh my goodness. Great visual. Everybody punch away on Jeff Kent. When we come back, there are two NBA. What?
I didn't know a Jeff Kent hate segment was coming, but I'm totally here for it.
When we come back, Hawks and Heat in the play-in. Also, the Lakers are there. T-Wolves, Lakers. We preview the NBA play-in, at least the first version of that. That's coming up next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Dr. Rick here. Another sign you're becoming your parents is getting particular about details that don't matter.
The craziest thing happened when we got tacos the other day. Was it Wednesday or Thursday we got tacos? I know it wasn't Tuesday because that's when I went to my hairdresser. Shoot, what day was it?
See how we all lost interest there?
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Springfest is here at Lowe's. Don't miss out on the best deals of the season. Refresh your yard with 5 bags of premium mulch for just $10. And refresh your home with savings on paint and stain. Right now, buy one, get one 50% off on 1-gallon cans and 5-gallon pails of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Paint, Stainmaster Paint, and Cabot Exterior Stains. Shop Springfest today. Valid through 4/12. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See store at Lowe's.com for details.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave telling you something you already know, which is your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new furnace or air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. All you got to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote now, today. Do it right now. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home. You don't have to have somebody come out and walk around your house and blah, blah, blah. Just do the quoting tool. It's so easy. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. I absolutely love these folks. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Ace fans need Friday night plans? Well, we got you covered. Get 4 tickets and parking for any Friday night game starting at just $49 with the Friday 4-pack presented by Chevrolet. Save big and enjoy great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more this 2023 season.
He drills one to right, way back, and no doubt, and that quickly the A's have taken the lead. Second deck.
Friday night tickets are available at athletics.com/value. That's athletics.com/value.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current. Roseville Electric provides you with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. Whether you're looking to go electric, reduce your carbon footprint, or simply save on your monthly energy bill, Roseville Electric has a solution for you. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge, and so many more. Plus, a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $85. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Attic Man Heating and Air Conditioning, Still Eats RV, and Naughty Wood Barbecue.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Back here on Sactown Sports 1140. Whether you're listening on the radio station, the app, smart speaker, watching us on YouTube, you can see Dave's Does that qualify as like the man cave? I know Melissa works in there too. Like, what room is that in the house?
This is our office.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me give you a quick tour. This is going to be amazing. But this is our office. Oh, come on, David. We've got pennants up there. Look at that, 84 champion Niners. Come on, you got to respect that.
Oh yeah. Whoa.
Let's see. Just here's a green screen I never use.
You have a green screen in there?
Well, like you're supposed to put it on your chair.
Oh, I
and
see.
It's got a little a Velcro thing. Some movie posters, more King stuff. Here's something, Jason. Let me see if this is amazing radio right here. Look at that old clock, dude.
Let me see. I'm a little bit delayed, but
Oh,
I'll
you're
get there.
delayed. Sorry.
Just a little bit, not much, but I'm getting there.
Yeah,
oh yeah, I see it.
There's an old clock for you. Oh no, did I just totally screw everything up? I did. All right, there we go. So yeah, this is the office.
Okay.
My wife works over here, but I think she's going to the office today because yesterday I was not planning on being at home, so
Right.
that's why she worked at home. And then this various clutter. I want to point something out to you and Jay. The NBA just sent this out as we preview the play-ins and the playoffs coming up. The 36 officials have been assigned to the various games in the postseason. You're going to recognize a lot of these: Tony Brothers, Sean Corbin, Mark Davis, Scott Foster, Bill Kennedy, et cetera, Zach Zarba, of course. What's interesting is that the following officials are alternates for the first round of the 2023 playoffs: Lauren Holtkamp, Ashley Moyer-Gleit, Natalie, Natalie, is it Sago? Dedrick Taylor, and Scott Twardowski. Now, I want to just quickly dive into that because you may have noticed that the first three officials that are alternates are female, and none of them, I don't believe there's a single female official, I read it twice, that is in the first round. Now, I'm not trying to start any crap. What I'm saying is the NBA is, by all accounts, a very forward-thinking organization, very forward-thinking. On the surface, it's probably a bad look that there's no female officials listed in the postseason, and the first three alternates are all female. Now, on the surface, that's a questionable look. Like, what are we doing here? But based on the NBA's history, what that I hope tells me is that there's actually a legit numerical grading system for the referees, and there's no well, he or she wasn't great, but we need to put them in there. It says here that they're selected by referee operations based on three specific criteria assessed throughout the season: play calling accuracy, team rankings, and overall graded rankings. And then after each round of the playoffs, they're determined whoever's doing the best advances. So in a sense, they're in their own postseason. I know the way it works in baseball. I got a buddy, as you know, who's an umpire.
Yeah.
They're all trying to make the postseason. There's a lot more money in the postseason, and it makes a difference because they're not making millions of dollars. So there is a monetary incentive to make the postseason. And if this is the case, that they're all legit graded with no room for personal feelings or bias or anything like that, it doesn't mean the refs are going to be great in the postseason. But I am glad to see that the normally not transparent referee grading system gets a little bit of transparency here.
Yeah, I think that is good. That is healthy for the league. And we're still going to have the last 2-minute reports. We're still going to, guess what? We're still going to be upset about calls. And the one thing that's been really common that I've seen on Twitter, on our message boards, on YouTube, or on our text line, Dave, is people already worried about being 5 against 8. I'm like, man, if that's your thought process already, for games that haven't even been played, that's scary that that's even a thought by fans. But the league needs to be aware of that. I'm not saying some fans don't take that too far, but I think that is a pretty common feel amongst fans. And I'm not just saying Kings fans. Warrior fans will say the same thing. Laker fans, Bucks fans, pick your team. Like, a lot of times fans think that they are getting the wrong end of the whistle.
Yeah, and this is a fan base. Listen, every fan base thinks the refs are against them. Every single one. LeBron James fans are out there thinking he gets screwed. Steph Curry fans, which, by the way, they sometimes have a case, think that he gets screwed sometimes. Everybody has a case. Here's the bottom line. Sacramento Kings fans are obviously a little bit tortured by the fact that they participated or they watched perhaps the worst refereed big game in history in 2002, but should also maybe take a little bit of solace in the fact that counting the beginning of the year when the Tyler Hero, the Kevin Huerter non-foul, when those things happened twice in 4 games, the Sacramento Kings are only behind the Lakers when it comes to, at least last I checked, free throws shot versus your opponent. The Kings have shot many, many more free throws than their opponent. Hopefully that carries on to the playoffs and they don't have to suffer superstar calls. It's going to be tough enough, Jason.
Yeah, and it starts tonight with the play-in games. We've got 2 matchups that winners will go into the playoffs. In the East, it's the Hawks and the Heat. Winner gets Boston and goes in as the 7th seed. Loser as the safety net, where they get one more game where they would host the winner of the 9-10 game. And on the other side, Dave, it's in the West. The winner gets the Memphis Grizzlies. But I think what's interesting about the Timberwolves-Lakers game is right after the show yesterday, when we were done, we found out that Rudy Gobert has been suspended for this game. Jaden McDaniels already fractured his hand in that game 82. Minnesota's a bit of a mess, but with all that said, obviously they have every chance to win tonight against the Lakers.
There's been a lot of talk about this is the first time in this iteration of the franchise that the Warriors and Kings have been in the playoffs at the same time, much less faced each other, which also allows for something that's never happened before either by that logic, which is you have every California team in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
There is actually, it's not going to happen, I'm sure, but there's actually a path for the Kings and actually really every team in California, but the Kings could conceivably beat the Warriors.
Yep.
And then face the Lakers.
Yep.
If the Lakers were to beat Memphis, they would face them in the semis and then go on to face the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. The Kings and the other California teams could conceivably make the NBA Finals without having to leave California, which is pretty crazy.
They'd be unheard of. And we talk about how travel in the playoffs can really, obviously it's the most exciting time. The stress is up, but it can really get to you. And if you had that, which would be the easiest travel part, doesn't mean the games are easy, but you couldn't have an easier road than that. That'd be amazing.
No, and it's why, and we've got audio from Draymond Green a little bit later talking about facing the Kings and how, and there's a lot of stuff that's going to be, this is silly season. A lot of things are going to be picked apart. Draymond, in all seriousness, when he said what he said on his podcast earlier, or excuse me, it wasn't the podcast, it was the barbershop or whatever with LeBron and friends. And he said, the Kings stink and blah, 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 like they did. They did stink. And then yesterday, a lot of people are looking at the fact that he said he'd love to get the series over with the Kings in 4 or 5 games. What they're leaving out, as he said, it's going to be very tough. The Kings are a very good team. Of course, guess what? The Kings would like to get the series over with in 4 games.
Of course they would.
Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I'm just going to guess that every player in the NBA postseason would like to get every series over with in 4, win 16, lose 0, and be done. There's nothing wrong with any of that.
It just usually doesn't work that way for the most part. It never works that way. So we've got 1 hour complete. When we come back, the series hasn't even started, Kings and Warriors, but they've already set a record, and it's the most expensive first-round ticket. We've got the numbers for you when we come back here on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
The regular season is over. Now the real test begins.
Kings will have the number 3 seed. They'll have the home court advantage.
Sactown Sports is your home for all things Kings as they enter into a first-round matchup with the Warriors.
Fox steps into 3. He stops a triple, and the Kings have regained the lead. But against the explosive Warriors, you can't hold your breath.
Stay tuned to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the most comprehensive Sacramento Kings playoff coverage.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Eileen Javor in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We'll start out with some clouds this morning and afternoon sunshine expected, but it will not be as warm as yesterday. Highs in the low 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Make your New Year's resolutions yet? Let me help. Trade out of that old car and into something safe and reliable, like a new Folsom Lake Kia with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Warehouse Paint is where the local pros go for all of their paint project needs. Enjoy same-day turnarounds, same-day color matching, color consultation services, and free job site deliveries. With a large in-stock selection of PPG and Benjamin Moore paints and stains, and an expert sales team that is here to help, Warehouse Paint has exactly what you need to complete your next project. Visit warehousepaint.com to find a store near you. That's warehousepaint.com.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go, so I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partner with Beacon. With the new Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. It's like having my Beacon rep in my pocket 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through June, purchase through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Beacon, always building.
Great team, great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking, when is something too good to be true? When it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for a free personalized arch support fitting and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHTK AM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your local sports leader in the 916. This is Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The NBA play-in tournament starts today with both an Eastern Conference and Western Conference matchup. The number 7 Miami Heat take on the number 8 Hawks in the East. followed by the number 7 Lakers taking on the number 8 Timberwolves in the West. Of course, the Wolves will be without center Rudy Gobert, who was sent home after punching teammate Kyle Anderson in the final NBA regular season game, and will also be without Jaden McDaniels, who fractured his hand punching a wall in that same game. Keep up to date with all the NBA playoff action at SactownSports.com. In Bay Area baseball, the A's fell to Baltimore yesterday 5-1, and the Giants lost at Oracle Park to the Dodgers 9-1, due in big part to a career-high 7 RBIs from Max Muncy, including this shot in the 7th inning.
Bases loaded. Here's Max Muncy. Drives the first pitch deep to left field. It is back. It is gone. A grand slam for Max Muncy. Maxwell swinging the silver hammer for the second time tonight. And the Dodgers have opened it up in the 7th, leading it 9-1.
Coming up on today's show, Warriors insider John Dickinson joins us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. That'll happen at 9 a.m. to preview the Kings-Warriors matchup this weekend. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
All right, hour number 2. Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave, Jay Mars here on this Tuesday. Playoff week, Kings, Warriors, Saturday, game 1, 5:30. Be there if you can. Dave's trying to pair tickets with Kings fans, get Kings fans together, get Kings fans to fill Golden One Center. Dave, that's a big task because the Kings and Warriors have already set the record for most expensive first-round playoff tickets. But before we even get to that, we do have some breaking news.
Yes, we do.
When it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sactown Sports breaking news.
David, I'll let you take the lead on this one.
4-time NBA All-Star, former Sacramento King DeMarcus Cousins is signing with the Guaynabo Mets of the Puerto Rican Professional Basketball League. 32 years old, he will play this spring there to continue to try and find a pathway back to the NBA. This is on the heels of him yesterday saying on whatever that show is with Rachel Nichols, I think he was talking to Kevin Garnett. Maybe it wasn't, but I saw the clips going around. He had a comment on the MVP race, which we should probably get to at some point, have a conversation about that. And also said he thought he was the 3rd best center in the league. It's interesting, Jason. I know we don't want to spend too much time.
He's wrong.
He is. I agree with you.
But
and
he should feel that confident, though.
Yeah, he's not the 3rd best, though.
No.
Now, once upon a time, he certainly was.
Right.
The DeMarcus Cousins thing is so damn sad to me in so many ways because there's a reason there is absolutely no doubt in my mind. He's not the 3rd best center in the NBA, but he ain't the 31st. You know, there is no doubt in my mind that he is a top 30 center. Which would mean that he is a startable center on some team somewhere, and at worst, a backup. It's DeMarcus's past coming back to haunt him, and I love DeMarcus. I do. Anyone who knows me knows that. I like him. I do think he's a good person. But he has a career of doing a lot of a-hole things.
Yeah.
And that has come back to haunt him, and
absolutely,
he's forever going to be a what-if guy because his demeanor, in many cases, has kept him out of the NBA way too early.
Yeah, if you look at it right now in the postseason, the Kings are there. The Lakers are in the play-in, but could be a postseason team. Clippers, who he played for, Warriors, who he played for, Denver, who he's played for. None of them, who are all in the postseason, and probably could take any. The Lakers added Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
I mean, so to me, that tells you it's not a talent thing. It's a little bit of a talent thing, maybe a drop off from where he was, but it's also the other stuff. Because if that many teams have had him and they're all kind of going, no, we're okay. That to me tells you something.
When DeMarcus was averaging 26 and 12, it was teams found a way to handle it, and the Kings were one of them for many years. That's not the case now, and look at the Kings.
Yeah.
The Kings have been searching for a backup center all year long, rotating between Len and Metu and all that. They're on paper, DeMarcus Cousins absolutely could be a backup center on the Kings. But you're talking about a franchise that knows him very well, a coach that coached him in Golden State. I root for DeMarcus. I hope he gets another chance. I'd like to see him make it. But
yeah,
this is on nobody but him.
Right, for
And
sure.
I hate it for him, and I hate it for everyone else.
I'm glad he's still playing, still giving it a go, see if he can move the needle and get back in this league and get back into a spot where he can play in front of crowds like we're going to expect this weekend. Kings and Warriors, Davis, set the record for the most expensive first-round playoff games ever. Game 1 per Front Office Sports. The get-in price, $427, and based on looking at some aftermarket stuff yesterday, that seems low. But, that's averages, and that's what some season ticket holders paid for, some face value tickets, and even some markup there. Games 3 at the Chase Center, get-in price is at $222 right now. But I feel like all those numbers are going to go north, and it's staggering how expensive that those tickets are.
I really, really hope, we're doing everything we can as a fan base, as media guys, whatever, to do our best to ensure that there's Kings fans at that game. But guess what? There's going to be a ton of Warrior fans at the game Saturday. Just prepare for that. What I hope is that a lot of Kings fans that are priced out up here are going to simply drive an hour and a half, go down to Chase, wear their gear, and light that beam all over that arena. That's how it should be. That's my suggestion often to a lot of Kings fans that are priced out, is like, look, I get it. Take a roadie, dude, because your presence on the road is arguably more important than your presence at home. Although with these teams' road and home records, that's a little on its ear. But it just goes to show you, and this is a record that'll probably stand for a while, because you're talking about 16 years. This is going to be game 1 of these playoffs. Jason, is going to literally be the hottest ticket in Sacramento Kings history, which is saying something. And hopefully, I don't know if that's going to cool out if they advance, or if it's just going to get crazier. That's the thing. Where are we going to be if they make the Western Conference Finals? Where are we going to be game 1 of the NBA Finals if that happens?
Yeah, and the thing I'm also wondering about too is, the ticket price was out there even before we knew it was the Warriors. I had wondered if it ended up being the Clippers or the Pelicans, let's say. Would it have dropped any? Because I still think then it's the 16-year part, and maybe then it's still filled with Kings fans. And then if it's just Kings fans, could that price have gone down? But now when you combine Kings, Warriors, the local flair, Warrior fans wanting to come in, Kings fans wanting to be there, I think the same would have been said with Laker fans. I think you just got the peak of everything to drive the demand up there.
I think you said it. I don't think there's any other team, including the Lakers, that would have done this. It was the perfect or imperfect storm playing the Warriors in the first round. You had the combination of first playoff game in 16 years, along with a massive, massive top 5 in the NBA fan base because of their much because of their success over the last 10 plus years. An hour and a half away. I think the Lakers would have been second best, and then maybe the Clippers third best. But if it was the Clippers, I think you'd probably see these prices halved.
Yeah, I think you're probably probably right on that. And then, it's the other thing I would tell people is to do kind of the thing that you're doing or trying to help. It's like anything, you're going to see an outlandish price and probably be scared and see more outlandish prices. But I don't know, you just got to keep digging, keep trying, keep poking around, and you just never know. And maybe the number's too high. Maybe it's not your turn, but it feels like sometimes you find a deal, you find someone that, oh no, I'll sell them for face value. You might. I don't know. You just got to keep working at it. I'm not saying it's easy, but sometimes you find deals like that.
And nobody should be shamed. Listen, if you're a season ticket holder and you're trying to sell your ticket for 4 times face value, whether it's the Warriors or a Kings fan, I don't like that. I wish that wasn't the case, but I'm not trying to get into anybody's wallet. In a perfect world, anyone who has an extra ticket would sell it to a Kings fan for face value plus any, break even. Great, fine. However, there's a lot of people out there. I saw a lady yesterday who's a nurse who she and her husband work hard. They've had season tickets for 10 years, and this is their chance to get back a little bit. So they're actually talking to Kings fans first, but ultimately their tickets are going to go to the highest bidder, and that's going to fund not only their playoff tickets for the rest of the season, but also their season tickets for next year. I completely get the logic. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish there was a way, a legal way to limit the amount of opposing fans there, but that's not the world we live in.
No, and it makes you wonder. I mean, obviously, this is the first round. There's so much anticipation with the drought the Kings have been in. If they were to advance, if they were to get to a second round, third round, even conference finals, I mean, what kind of ticket prices are we talking about then?
That's the thing. It's going to be. I can't even imagine the amount of money for a Kings finals ticket, but I will tell you this much. No joke. And I hope we get to prove this right or wrong. You will literally have people telling stories of taking out home equity loans.
Sure.
To buy tickets. You 100% will have people putting down real money that they'll be paying on for years in order to get that experience. You will.
I believe it because of what that means to this community, that price. And, I had talked to some of the Kings ticket reps and different people in charge of a lot of this stuff, Dave. They talked to so many different teams that maybe have been somewhere similar for a few years of missing the playoffs, kind of where they bump their prices to teams that have been like the Warriors that are regularly there. And where the Kings have started with it, what the Kings were actually selling for has actually been fair amongst the league. It's, again, we go back to the aftermarket, and that's where that's the game changer that's pricing people out.
And I get what you're saying, and it is, and you're 100% correct. When you look at the Kings' base prices compared to the rest of the league, they are fair. It is in line with what tickets are being sold for. That being said, in a perfect world, I completely hear what fans are saying. Hey, listen, I've been a season ticket holder for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and most of that has been utter and complete failure where I have not gotten value out of my seats, where I have lost money, which, fine, it's not an investment, where I have not seen a product worthy of what I paid. Would it have been a good gesture to lower those prices to say, hey, this is your reward? And at least just with season ticket holders, have the single game tickets, have the public tickets. Go ahead, gouge away, do what you got to do to make your nut on this whole thing. But would I have liked to have seen a business move where season ticket holders, for example, okay, you guys have the option of purchasing postseason tickets at face value for what you've already paid and invested into? Yes, I think that would have been a good move. Not a solid business move. And I don't mind ownership making money because they invested in this team when it was most important. So this isn't me coming out against ownership for gouging. I'm saying would have been a nice gesture, but life is not a Disney movie. It is a business, and they're not doing anything that other teams aren't doing.
Yeah, for sure. It's a big ticket item. Hopefully you get your chance to get there. If not, like we said, the options are out there. Always, every game right here on Sactown Sports 1140. But if you can get there, more power to you. When we come back, we got 3 questions. We got 3 answers. It's 3 for madness. That's next.
It's Cattles and Rami.
Nimi was G League MVP runner-up. They run him out there. I've seen as much of Nimi as I need to see this year. Have you seen him since he held up that runner-up trophy? I have not seen him since he played 4 minutes for the Kings when that same night Coach Brown came out in the pregame and said, we're going to try to play Nimi. I remember that. We're going to give Nimi some run, which meant 4 minutes and then never seen again. Might have found something here in Nimi. 4 minutes later, we did not find something here.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, we got 3 questions, 3 answers coming up. Dave, this is something we can't confirm, but it's from the text line. It says, hey, guys, I heard if you sell your tickets, you get pink eye.
Facts. I've seen it.
Okay, well, then Dave has confirmed it. So
it's absolutely
you run
brutal,
the risk of getting pink eye if you sell your tickets.
Brutal. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You don't want pink eye in the playoffs, man.
That's right. All right, Jay, what do you got for us?
Not pink eye.
Yeah, okay.
Joel Embiid won his 2nd straight scoring title this season. Will the MVP trophy follow?
Yeah, I think so. I think it will. And this argument's tough because Joel Embiid's having a wonderful season. He really is. And by the way, he's had multiple wonderful seasons. But what I'm seeing is what I hate, which is multiple people with votes. John Hollinger is one who actually said, listen, I'm paraphrasing, but it's not voter fatigue, but it's just Joel Embiid's turn. It's like, no, there's no turn.
That's voter fatigue.
That's voter fatigue. It's literally what voter fatigue is. There's no turns. It's not a roller coaster ride. What I continue to look at is numbers. Joel Embiid is a better scorer and a better defender than Nikola Jokic. That is 100% a fact. However, Jokic has him in every other category, plus they're the 1 seed. Everything is covered there. Jokic is actually having a better season than his other 2 MVP campaigns, which does not matter. And when there's a reason why they have certain statistics to try to cover all the hullabaloo when you get into Raptor and Carmelo and RPM and BPM, blah, blah, blah. Nikola Jokic's value over replacement player is 8.8. Joel Embiid, 6.4. When you look at the MVP tracker, which is based on how people have voted in the past, 57.4% say Jokic, 15.1, excuse me, it's not people. The trend is Joel Embiid. Then when you look at their records, their team records without that player, Nikola Jokic absolutely dominates it. Here's the last thing, and then I'll be done because I'm obviously fired up about this. Joel Embiid played in 43 wins this season for the Sixers. Since the media began voting for MVP, that would be the fewest wins contributed by an MVP, with the next lowest being 46. The Sixers went 11-5 without him. That's a 68.8% winning percentage. 43-23 with him, 65.2. But it's his turn. Jokic has somehow become the stat padding villain. And I don't want to say he's going to get robbed, Jason. He's the MVP. It sucks.
Yeah, I go to our source, which is Sam, and I know that's one voter and that's one guy, but he kind of used some of these same terms, like whether it's Joel's turn or even Giannis's turn again. Voter fatigue was a phrase Sam used, and I've seen others do that, and there's been some informal polls coming out, and a lot of the name you hear is Joel Embiid. It's not to slide the season. I think we've got 3 very worthy candidates. And even I think DeMarcus said, well, look, I can't vote Jokic because that would give him 3 straight. That goes in like the GOAT conversation. So again, exactly. You're penalizing someone because of a metric that's irrelevant to this individual season. But I think there's too many of those factors and the year Embiid had, which is good. And I think it's tough to play in Philly. I do think he's going to win. I don't know that would be my vote, but I think he's getting the MVP.
Question 2.
The Atlanta Hawks front office has been given, quote, the green light to do whatever it takes to win. Are mass changes on the way in the ATL?
It's just going to be interesting, man, because Trae Young is now officially a coach killer. Trae Young is now officially a problem. Now, is that accurate? I'm not in the locker room. I'm not there. But Atlanta is like Dallas East right now. They're in a lot of trouble. The chemistry is off, and by many accounts, Trae Young is you hear he's aloof, he's selfish, he's stat oriented, he's a numbers filler, he's going to be maxed out for the rest of his career. But is Trae Young a guy you can build a team around? I don't even know. Obviously, Trae Young has a lot of value. Obviously, Trae Young is a phenomenal player. But is Trae Young somebody, when you look at the other issues, when you look at his contract, is this somebody that is a franchise changer and worth it? Jason, I think the Rudy Gobert trade is going to inform a lot of teams now. Be very, very careful when you invest in somebody like that, because you might be stuck with a Gobert-like situation, having given up a massive haul for a long time. Minnesota's franchise is going to be hamstrung for the foreseeable future. Yeah. That's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah, I think Atlanta, one of the preemptive strikes they've done here has already added Quinn Snyder. So getting him at the last part of the season, this is now a situation where the coach is ahead of the player. So if Trae Young does anything like, hey, it's me or the coach, well, Quinn Snyder's winning that one right now. You just hired him. He's safe. So what did Quinn Snyder fact find here? What did he learn here? What will happen tonight? They're in the play-in game. There's still some things to be determined and the final postscript on this season. But we know it as Kings fans. The Hawks have been trying to trade John Collins for like 3 years. It seems like a team that's always looking to do something to change things. I think when you added DeJounte Murray to go with Trae Young, they thought they had the greatest backcourt in the league. That didn't prove to be true this year. I don't know if they totally give up on that yet, but that team's going to do something different, whether it's Capella, John Collins, or Trae Young is the big target. The Hawks are definitely, to me, going to look different to start next year.
Question 3.
The Baltimore Ravens gave Odell Beckham Jr. a 1-year, $18 million contract with $15 million of that money guaranteed. Good or bad move?
I'd focus on the quarterback.
Is that important?
That might matter. Not that you can't make other moves, but who's throwing to Odell Beckham Jr.? This is an impossible question to answer, and this isn't me doing my famous waffling. I don't know who's throwing him the ball. If they re-sign Lamar Jackson and they're able to mesh and OBJ is actually able to play a full season, that's great. But Odell Beckham Jr. also isn't 24 years old anymore. And it almost seems like he's 30. This is a drop-off situation generally for running backs, secondary guys, a lot of them, and wide receivers. I don't think this is money well spent. I don't think it's a smart move when you've got Lamar Jackson sitting there waiting to figure his situation out. Odell Beckham Jr. is the guy that you bring in like the Rams did. You bring him in second half of the year, you make him a mercenary to come in and snipe touchdowns and add something to a team, and then you get him out of there before you can screw around on anything. Having him for a full year for a team that may or may not have a quarterback, or at least a contending style quarterback, I don't know what they're doing.
Is this... I don't know the answer to this, Dave. Do you think there's any part of this move that's to entice Lamar Jackson to like, hey, look, we still are interested. We still would like to keep you. We got you another weapon. Yeah, I don't know if that's it or not, and if that's the needle mover. Obviously, for Lamar Jackson, it's going to be money, but that paired with money might get it done.
Yeah, the problem is that Lamar Jackson needs a lot of Honda Accords, and they're buying him Fiats and Peugeots, and it's neat, it's flashy, it's going to get you in the media, but that's not what he needs. Give me 4 Alan Lazards, give me 3 Brandon Cooks, give me you know what I'm saying? Give me guys that are not OBJ's talent level necessarily, but give me guys that you can just plug and play that are good route runners versus a guy in OBJ. No offense, he's incredibly talented, but that's just not what Baltimore needs.
And some questions, obviously coming off a significant injury. We'll see how that all plays out. All right, we are getting closer to game 1. Man, the wait is forever till Saturday. But Draymond Green, he's going to talk on the court during the series. He's talking off the court as well, and he's excited about this one. We got some audio from Draymond, some good things he's saying about the Kings as well. That's all coming up on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The regular season is over. Now the real test begins.
Kings will have the number 3 seed. They'll have the home court advantage.
Sactown Sports is your home for all things Kings as they enter into a first-round matchup with the Warriors.
Fox steps into 3. He stops a triple, and the Kings have regained the lead. But against the explosive Warriors, you can't hold your breath.
Stay tuned to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the most comprehensive Sacramento Kings playoff coverage.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
You probably don't give it a second thought when you reach into your pocket for a wooden tee, but PGA.com says you should thank Dr. George Grant, an African-American dentist from Boston. He graduated from Harvard University with honors in 1870 and earned international fame by developing inserts for patients with cleft palates. He also developed a love for golf and in 1899 received the world's first patent for a golf tee, a wooden spike with a flexible rubber peg. But because he was an inventor and not a marketer, he never reaped the benefits of his innovation. Another dentist from New Jersey came along 20 years later after developing a tee from wood. He paid Walter Hagen to use his ready tee and leave them behind when he played. However, in 1991, the USGA recognized Dr. Grant as the original inventor of the wooden tee. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge, and so many more. Plus, a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $85. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Attic Man Heating and Air Conditioning, Bill Eats RV, and Naughtywood Barbecue.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered flex steel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The NBA play-in tournament starts today with both an Eastern Conference and Western Conference matchup. The number 7 Miami Heat take on the number 8 Hawks in the East, followed by the number 7 Lakers taking on the number 8 Timberwolves in the West. Of course, the Wolves will be without center Rudy Gobert, who was sent home after punching teammate Kyle Anderson in the final NBA regular season game, and will also be without Jaden McDaniels, who fractured his hand punching a wall in that same game. Keep up to date with all the NBA playoff action at SactownSports.com. In Bay Area baseball, the A's fell to Baltimore yesterday 5-1, and the Giants lost at Oracle Park to the Dodgers 9-1. Due in big part to a career-high 7 RBIs from Max Muncy, including this shot in the 7th inning.
Bases loaded. Here's Max Muncy. Drives the first pitch deep to left field. It is back. It is gone. A grand slam for Max Muncy. Maxwell swinging the silver hammer for the second time tonight. And the Dodgers have opened it up in the 7th, leading it 9-1.
Coming up on today's show, Warriors insider John Dickinson joins us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. That'll happen at 9 a.m. to preview the Kings-Warriors matchup this weekend. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Well, the anticipation for Saturday is it's getting to me, Dave. I don't know how you are. I'm anxious already.
Yeah, a little bit, dude.
Well, the players are talking, and Draymond, when he's talking, sometimes you're like, okay, what's Draymond saying? But I gotta say, there's parts of me, like when I watch Draymond when he's filling in on TNT or listening to his podcast, there's some likability in there. But boy, when he gets on the court, we talked about punchable faces earlier. My goodness. Yeah. Draymond's a guy that can really, really agitate you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what
What's
he's
up, Nacho?
Hey, Nacho making an appearance on the YouTube there. He is a punchable face. He is a guy that you just hate. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. He is going to be the most hated playoff person. He's going to be the most hated opponent by the end of this series, because we've all watched him do his stuff from afar. Now watching him do it, wait till he hip checks Keegan Murray into the third row. Wait till he has a hard foul and gets in Kevin Huerter's face. Whatever it may be, he's out there to, in hockey, Draymond would be called a goon. I think that's a little overboard. I have a lot of respect for Draymond, and I think he's more than just an enforcer. I think he is, like it or not. It's kind of funny. It's like when you look at Steph, Clay, and Dre, the core of that team. Steph Curry is like the happy-go-lucky, chew my mouthpiece, have fun, shoot stuff from half court. Yay, it's Steph Curry. I don't look at Steph as an enforcer. Clay's like in the middle, where Clay is also kind of a free spirit, if you will.
For sure.
An easy guy to root for, a guy who likes to have fun, but also, Clay can get angry at times, and he's a fierce competitor, as is Steph. Whereas Draymond's job is, listen, I'm not the most gifted scorer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a bunch of triple singles in the high triple singles. I'm going to play defensive player of the year style defense and anchor that defense.
Right.
And if I feel the need to get in someone's face, whether it's on the opponent's side or my own team, I'm going to do that. And guess what? It's worked. It's worked really well.
Yeah, we talked about in our last segment, we got some audio coming up here from Draymond that you guys need to hear about trying to get the most expensive ticket, get to the games. Well, we could tell you, Dave, that Quick Quack Car Wash and Sactown Sports, we want to send you to a Kings playoff game. You can head to SactownSports.com right now, register to win a pair of tickets to Game 2 of Round 1 at Golden One Center, all courtesy of Quick Quack, a proud partner of the Sacramento Kings with over 30 locations in the Sacramento area. At Quick Quack, you can wash your car all you want with an unlimited membership and enjoy the fast service that you'll have with a clean car right there, shine and dried in under 3 minutes. So again, go to SactownSports.com, register for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Game 2. As far as this series goes, as far as the drama, as far as the anticipation, let's hear Draymond talk about what he's seen in De'Aaron Fox. Oh, I don't think we have Jay in the room right here now. Sorry about that, Dave. Well, what do you think Draymond is saying about De'Aaron Fox?
I think he's saying he likes him and he's neat and he wants to be friends. While we're vamping here a little bit, I just got sent this from loyal listener Miguel. We were talking about pricing earlier, just so you get an idea. He's a season ticket holder. This is a season ticket holder face values. This is in section 118, row Q. All right, section 118, row Q. Base value, round one, $378.
Okay.
Round 2, $435. Round 3, which would be the Western Conference Finals, $586. The NBA Finals, $926 face value, section 118, row Q.
Okay, and that's going to be just absurd in the secondary. I mean, that's expensive, but I don't think that's absurd. Do you?
Again,
that's a season ticket holder price.
That's a season ticket holder price. Now, I want to be clear. I get that it doesn't work this way. The Kings are doing nothing out of line with other teams. I don't want this to come off as me Kings bashing, because I'm not. I'm saying in a perfect world, in Carmichael Dave land, if you invest in season tickets, you get your playoff tickets at face value for all the rounds. encouraging people to invest in season tickets on the bet that they will make that money on the later rounds. Now, if you're not a season ticket holder, whatever. I completely understand a franchise charging more to people that were not season ticket holders. You have to incentivize being a season ticket holder. I get it. I wish that if my seat's $100 during the regular season, my seat should be $100 in the NBA Finals. But I also know that that's silly season. That's not how any franchise works, and I'm not going to hold the Kings to a higher standard.
Okay. But I like that. Thank you for sending that in there. We appreciate that. How about, okay, now we're ready to go here. How about Draymond talking about De'Aaron Fox?
De'Aaron Fox, the Draymond Green Show guest, one of the Draymond Green Show guests. We had this conversation. It's on you, D. Fox. It's on you to get them guys to the playoffs. It's on you to become an all-star. It's on you to do these things, Fox. They traded Tyrese Halliburton for you to do these things. What did De'Aaron Fox do? Those things. Became an all-star, 3 seed in the West, got his guys back. We got the team back. It's been so many years, ending the longest drought in the NBA for the playoffs, or missing the playoffs.
Well, maybe he can do all those things to the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Draymond Green is going to be a wonderful analyst. He is the heir apparent to Charles Barkley when Charles leaves in a year or two. I think Draymond's going to either do it concurrently like he's done a little bit or retire and roll right into that role. I really love Draymond as an analyst and speaking on basketball. I could listen to him all day. I don't always agree with him, but I appreciate his directness.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that other players in the league respect him enough. It's very similar, Jason, not that Draymond is the player Shaq was, but I always remember Shaquille O'Neal on Inside the NBA. I think it was post-game, Joel Embiid. It might have been 4 years ago. The Sixers had won. And Shaq basically took Joel Embiid to task on the postgame and said, hey, listen, yeah, you guys won. And you had, 22 and 10. Big man, you're better than this. I want to see you. You should be scoring 30 every night. You should be pulling down 15 rebounds every night. Yeah, you're playing great. You're playing at an all-star level, but you're not playing to your level. And I need to see that. You only get one career, and you're basically wasting it right now because you're holding back. I mean, Shaq went in on him. And Joel Embiid, to his credit, said, thank you, big man. I appreciate that. I know it's all love. And I'm not saying Shaq motivated Joel Embiid to do this, but Joel Embiid is now doing all of that. Draymond Green has that similar type of thing where he'll come out and he'll say directly what he thinks to a player's face. Yeah. And I think he has a very good mind for basketball. I think everything he said is dead on, spot on correct.
Absolutely. And I think you're right. That honesty, that candidness that he's had has been great. Here he is, I believe, being genuine. Talking about the former Warriors that are now Kings.
Congratulations to the Sacramento Kings. That's dope to see. Happy for Mike Brown. Happy for Leandro Barbosa. Luke Louts. Vivek. All Golden State Warriors guys. Happy for those guys. That stops now. It's time to go now.
I believe that's 100%. I mean, I know when you're dealing with people, you're happy for people, but now you're playing. Now it's head-to-head. I mean, Draymond wants to beat the Kings in 2 if possible. I mean, he wants to end this as fast as they possibly can. They want to sweep. They want to win in 4. It's on. It's a rivalry. It's playoff time now.
It doesn't matter if it's, Draymond Green's little brother on the Kings. You can be friends off the court, but when it's on the court, and that's kind of a throwback with Draymond. And I like that too. Like, you're my enemy. I don't have sympathy for you. I am the Cobra Kai of the NBA. I have no mercy. And that's why I've often said, as much as, I dislike Draymond's antics, I think Draymond gets away with more from officials than anyone in NBA history. I also acknowledge that I'd love to have a Draymond type on the Kings. I'd love to have an enforcer. I'd love to have a vocal leader. I could do without a lot of what he does, but I think overall he's a benefit to this dynasty. And when people look at the history, Jason, they're going to say Steph and Clay,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even Steve Kerr. And I'm there. But Draymond Green has had Stephen plays back from day one, and that's something for them. That's a good feeling to have. Every team should have somebody like that.
Huge piece of the fabric of that team. He's incremental to what they do. We will talk about more from Draymond, more audio from him, also more national audio about the Kings and what they think about the year that De'Aaron Fox has had in Sabonis.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Also, screw Draymond Green.
Exactly. All of that and that, right?
Yes, exactly.
We will have more coming up. Dave and I are back with more. That is straight ahead here on Sactown Sports.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Jason Ross here to tell you about my friends at ACR Solar and ACR Home Services. Lots of different things they can provide with home services. Of course, solar, though. A lot of you have reached out to me about that. Yes, solar, that's what they do. It's in their name. It's what were founded on. But home services, many other things they can help with, like battery backup, pool solar. For us, it was the roof. We needed a brand new roof, and we had to talk to a couple different companies. That's what you do with a big project like that. We were told about ACR Solar. And then I said, well, it's solar. What about roofing? But that's what they do. That's the home services part. And roofing, they do well. We have a brand new roof. It looks great. We feel great about it. It's going to be our roof for a long, 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 long time. And the peace of mind that we have. One, curb appeal. It just looks better. Our roof had seen its best days. So we have a brand new roof, handled all of the elements of the winter. And certainly when we get these hot days coming up in the next few months, it'll be just fine. We got the brand new roof. We're going to be in great shape. We have that peace of mind. And that's what you want as a homeowner. So check them out, whether it's solar needs, home services, whatever it might be. Go to acrsolar.com.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you. Lightning and the thunder. Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it. Feel it. Thunder, feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder. Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Since the 1950s, Warehouse Paint has been helping local homeowners and professionals bring color to life. Whether it's painting your home's exterior, repainting kitchen cabinets, or finding the perfect accent color, Warehouse Paint's expert team is here to help. You'll find a great selection of PPG and Benjamin Moore paints, along with local service you can trust. With 5 Sacramento area stores, Warehouse Paint is ready to help bring your next paint project to life. Visit warehousepaint.com for a store near you.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
So, Dave, obviously, when the Kings stayed, you had your wild journey of the RV and going through all that, and we get the downtown arena this Saturday when that game is taking place. Honestly, when we would all be on the radio and talk about the potential of a downtown arena and what it could look like with a playoff game and the spring and the weather, like, it's happening. I mean, Saturday's going to be like 75 degrees. You're playing the Warriors. Fans are going to be out at Doco. The people that are going to go into the game are going to be just crazy nuts. Like that vision that we all talked about, sometimes you almost threw it out there like, well, guys, this is what it could be. Even if you didn't know what was going to happen, it's here. It's really incredible.
Yeah, Saturday is going to be the visualization of or the realization of everything we visualized, not just in the fight for the team, but also the arena, everything we dreamt and talked about. The only thing that I think is unfortunate is that I'd like to see somehow rectified is, and we talked about this earlier, the people trying to get into the games. It's not easy. It's financially difficult. And I don't know what's going on, for example, at Cesar Chavez Plaza across the street. The NBA is not allowing the Kings to put up TVs in Doco so people can gather out there. They're encouraging people to go to the different restaurants and bars in the area to gather. But there should be a central gathering spot. I think you see this everywhere. You see this in football, basketball, baseball. You see this in soccer all over the world. I don't know what's going on at Cesar Chavez, but I'll tell you this: if it's open, there's got to be some company out there, some business out there that could really do well by just renting out that whole thing, putting up some huge screens, and giving people want to gather. I'm seeing it on message boards. I'm seeing it everywhere where people who can't get into the games, not everybody has $3, $4, $5, $1,000 a ticket. They just want to watch with other Kings fans, and there should be a large outdoor, centrally located, at place to be able to do that. And I hope somebody steps up and gets that done.
And that's for the home games, because we know there's the viewing parties for the road games, and I think that's going to be well attended. That's always fun for the fans that won't go down to Chase, and that's okay. I mean, again, to gather, to be with Kings fans and that. And the TVs do a great job. They'll show what Golden One Center looks like inside with the crazy Kings fans that are watching a game on the big screen.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I've always dreamed of seeing. I know you have too, Jason. I want to see those road shots. I want to see the Kings, beating the Warriors at Chase Center, and I want to see shots of Golden One Center freaking out when Kevin Huerter nails that third three, or Keegan Murray or whatever.
Well, we always kind of bicker about, hey, nobody ever talks about the Kings. Well, that narrative has changed a bit here based on the season they've had. We know the receipts are out there, what people said going into the year, but now people are impressed by what Sacramento has done based on the 82 games, what Mike Brown, Monty McNair, certainly Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. Let's hear for some national guys here, Dave, or Bill Simmons and Ryan Russillo. We're talking about all NBA teams, and here's what they had to say about De'Aaron Fox.
I had De'Aaron Fox and Drew Holiday as my second team guards. And I'm probably shooting a team high on Drew, and I don't care. People can.
All right, so I have Lucas second. I have Fox second team.
The crazy one for me is Fox, who, I know we knew this was coming, but just what a turnaround from a guy 18 months ago. I thought, what is this guy? Is this? I think we had him on worse contracts, maybe, or maybe on the.
You did. I did. I don't know.
I just never could get there with him, but he flipped it.
What's amazing about that, Dave, is just think about even in season. It was work to get him into the All-Star game that we all thought he should have been, and he finally got there. He's no longer a bad contract at all. It's actually a good contract. And then I'm with them on first, second, or third. He's going to be on an All-NBA team. He has to be.
I would think so. I think Sabonis is absolutely a lock.
Agreed.
Probably for third. And I think De'Aaron, being second and Sabonis being third is very likely. Now, that doesn't mean, by the way, that De'Aaron Fox had a better year than Sabonis, and I'm not here to compare. They both had such wonderful years. It's that you've got 6 total guard spots open. You have 3 center spots open, and you have Giannis you have Jokic and Joel Embiid,
2 MVP candidates.
Yeah, they're going to be first and second in some order. But I think that's great. I think having 2 all-NBA, all-star guys on your team in the first full year they've played together is a wonderful accomplishment.
Yeah, and they kind of follow up on that, on why they're putting Fox in that second team.
The crazy one for me is Fox, who, I know we knew this was coming, but
maybe this is just the second part of that. Sorry, let me get to the Sabonis part of them talking about Sabonis on that third squad that you're referring to.
So I had for third team, I had Sabonis, I had Jaylen Brown, I have LeBron James, I have Jalen Brunson, I have Steph Curry.
All right, yeah, we got some difference.
I figured.
These.
The third team was hard.
So we both have Steph, we both have Jaylen Brown, we both have Sabonis. Sabonis is a layup on this one.
That's right. I mean, it is a layup, and we're talking about third team. That's probably where he fits, Dave. I've seen the last of some people's MVP selections, and they have Sabonis 5th overall. Yeah. I think it's the 3 we've talked about, with Giannis looking like he might end up 3rd, maybe Tatum 4th, and then there's Sabonis. Which, what a honor that would be. I mean, it doesn't get you anything, but to finish 5th overall in the MVP voting would be pretty tremendous for Sabonis.
Hey, I'm old enough to remember, Jason, when people laughed at us when we talked about Sabonis being a top 10 NBA MVP candidate. He absolutely is, especially when you factor in turnaround, when you factor in what the team itself has done. He's just had such a wonderful year, and I am all 100% here for him getting all the accolades, along of course, with De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, and it's going to be a busy offseason for accolades. And I know to a man, to a player, to a coach, to anybody, they'll all say, yeah, I don't care about that. They want playoff wins. And I think that's the right thing to say, but it's also not just that. I think that's what they believe. They want victories, and it all goes together. It's so simple, but when you win, more things come your way, more praise, more attention, and more awards.
More awards, indeed. By the way, can I be that's not a shot at Sam Amick. By the way, everyone keeps interpreting it that way. Sam did not laugh. Sam, I think I'm paraphrasing, said something like, not impossible, but that's a tough road. It was something like that. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I know he didn't laugh. He didn't scoff. I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about those people that were like, Sabonis is trash. Are you kidding me? Take the purple glasses off. And this isn't about, I wasn't the only one to say it. We had tons of, a number of people that were saying it. And yeah, if you'd told me before the season that Sabonis would be in the conversation for top 5 MVP, I would have asked you what strain you were on. And here we are. Just kind of bottom lines how good of a year he's having.
Yeah, and then the Fox part I love, just because he's changed the national narrative. And I said it yesterday, Dave. I am so excited for this playoffs, but I think De'Aaron is just ready to thrive at a level that it doesn't necessarily have to be more points. I mean, we're seeing him do some Herculean things in the fourth quarter, the Mr. Clutch Award and all the stuff he's done. But I just sometimes, I know we've had the conversation before on air, like, what does clutch mean? What's that clutch gene? I don't know how to quantify it, but I think that's the lane that Fox lives in. I think that's in his DNA. I think he lives for big moments. I think he handles them, and I think he's ready to be in some really big ones, big moments coming up.
Is Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox having the best center and having the best big man and guard seasons in Kings history?
Like together in the same year?
I'm saying no, individually. Like, has any
I see.
Has any big man, and I'm counting Cousins and I'm counting Weber. Has any big man had the year that Domantas Sabonis has had?
It's funny when you look at it. I think one of the years in the early 2000s, I could be off. I thought Weber finished second in the MVP, but statistically, you could argue that Sabonis is having a better year. Now, Webb did some different things, was a better scorer, but I mean, Sabonis led the league in rebounds, double-doubles, had all those triple-doubles. And then Fox, I don't think Mitch scored. Well, it's close. I mean, Fox has been incredible.
And the fact that they're doing it You know, the Weber year, I think the closest would be 2000, 2001 when he averaged 27 points a game. That's an exactly 8-point increase over Domantas Sabonis. That is massive.
Mm-hmm.
He also blocked 1.5 shots to Sabonis's half. That's you have to acknowledge that. But dude, Sabonis more rebounds. Sabonis almost twice as many assists. Sabonis better free throw percentage. Combined field goal percentage 63% to 48% for Sabonis. I know we're getting lost in the numbers, and I hear a lot of Kings fans right now saying, well, do something in the playoffs before we get all crazy.
Wow.
I hear you. I agree with you. This is my only point. You're arguably seeing the best big man season in Kings history and the best guard season in Kings history, arguably. And they're certainly top 5. And they're both having in the same exact. They're both happening the exact same year. That's the crazy part.
It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's awesome to see, and we'll see what happens come the second season. The postseason is coming up. It's Kings and Warriors Saturday, Game 1. What can we take from the first 4? They played 4 times in the regular season. Is there any takeaway from that? We've got some numbers and some trends from that. We'll discuss when we come back on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Are you ready to hear this on Sactown Sports?
Handoff McCaffrey. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Or how about this?
Feels super, baby! The 5-time Super Bowl champions, and they're looking for number 6.
Catch every Niners game during the 2023 season
On your home for the 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Eileen Javor in the KCRA3 Weather Center. We'll start out with some clouds this morning and afternoon sunshine expected, but it will not be as warm as yesterday. Highs in the low 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Treat yourself to a new car in the new year. Shop Folsom Lake Kia for your favorite Kia model. Low interest rates, low payments, even zero down deals with approved credit. Over 20 years right here in Sacramento. That's Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. Well, the A's began the year with 6 rookies, and ranging from a 3-time All-Star in Japan, the right-handed pitcher Shintaro Fujinami, to a Rule 5 selection from the Dodgers, the first baseman Ryan Noda. Now, a note on Noda. On opening day, he became the 2nd player in big league history to make his major league debut on opening day on his birthday.
You can't host movie night on your phone's hotspot. It's time for real home internet on the Xfinity 10G network. The future starts now. New customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet for just $25 a month for 2 years during our Xfinity 10G network launch celebration, now through April 23rd. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, as always, of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's going on for the Jeep Celebration event?
We have huge savings for springtime on everyone's favorite
favorite Jeeps. But if you're looking to save money at the pump, then you need to take advantage of our huge savings on new 2023 Jeep plug-in hybrids. Right now, save up to $14,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Jeep Wrangler Sahara 4xEs and up to $12,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs with our lease specials.
Yeah, but are they really worth all the hype?
Absolutely. My mother-in-law just got one and she saved $15,000 and absolutely loves it. Plus, she's saving a ton of money on fuel. Now is the time to take advantage of this savings.
Well, there's no better place to get your new Jeep than Hoblet. No dealer markups and the best savings around. Stop by for a test drive today or search, select, and save through their whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Best prices, best selection, period.
14,000 total net savings for leases only after 3,000 MyCarb lease bonus cash. 7,500 hybrid electric federal tax credit rebate plus 3,500 Hoblet discount. 12,000 total net savings for lease options only after 2,000 MyCarb lease bonus cash. $1,000 California bonus cash and 7,500 hybrid electric fed tax credit plus 1,500 Hoblet discount. Multiple lease terms available. 5 net savings. See dealer for details.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the flagship station of your Sacramento Kings.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The NBA play-in tournament starts today with both an Eastern Conference and Western Conference matchup. The number 7 Miami Heat take on the number 8 Hawks in the East, followed by the number 7 Lakers taking on the number 8 Timberwolves in the West. Of course, the Wolves will be without center Rudy Gobert, who was sent home after punching teammate Kyle Anderson in the final NBA regular season game, and will also be without Jaden McDaniels, who fractured his hand punching a wall in that same game. Keep up to date with all the NBA playoff action at SactownSports.com. In Bay Area baseball, the A's fell to Baltimore yesterday 5-1, and the Giants lost at Oracle Park to the Dodgers 9-1, due in big part to a career-high 7 RBIs from Max Muncy, including this shot in the 7th inning.
Bases loaded. Here's Max Muncy. Drives the first pitch deep to left field. It is back. It is gone. A grand slam for Max Muncy. Maxwell swinging the silver hammer for the second time tonight. And the Dodgers have opened it up in the 7th, leading it 9-1.
Coming up on today's show, Warriors insider John Dickinson joins us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. That'll happen at 9 a.m. to preview the Kings-Warriors matchup this weekend. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
What do you got there?
You know what? Sometimes you ever hankering for something, and you look in the fridge and you find something that you didn't think you had, like maybe it's an extra sleeve of Girl Scout cookies you forgot about. I don't know what it is. Well, I was looking in my backpack for a pen, and I forgot that when we got on the plane from Portland, Jason, I had some 7-Eleven brand gummy worms.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had these Starbucks or Starburst gummy duos, which are phenomenal gummies.
Dude, you're like the 8-year-old who finds Halloween candy in their backpack 6 months later.
Jay, I got to tell you this. I think I'm a snacker, but Dave, like I'm third team. Dave is first team and maybe an MVP. Like Dave, you take it to another level.
It's because I mean, if I'm being honest, I've kind of been this way a long time, and now with the no smoking thing, like I get very oral, and I
do you?
Yeah, well, and
kids show.
I've said this before, but like that's why everyone always sees me dislodging my jaw at Kings games eating popcorn. Like I'm a nervous eater. Now sit down with me. Guys, Jason, you remember when we ate dinner up in Portland? Like I eat like a quarter of my plate. Like I can't eat a lot at one sitting. But I'm a cow, dude. I will graze all day long. I got a number for you real quick. We have the final numbers for the regular season. The highest free throw differential this season, we were talking about it earlier. I have the updated number. The Lakers, for the regular season, shot 476 more free throws than their opponents. Now, second place at 300. Nope. Sorry. 260. Nope. Nope. Second place at 173.
Wow.
The Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Huge differential, but they don't get calls.
Yeah, but LeBron doesn't like.
Yeah.
And listen, I get that style of play can dictate some teams. Not like that.
I mean, the number one offense with up there in pace and the amount of shot attempts and movement, like you'd feel like that one has the chance to get the most foul calls just because of, they're not taking the air out of the basketball and limiting possessions. But I digress, I guess.
If you want to know whether you're dealing with a delusional Laker fan or not, and obviously they're mostly delusional, put that stat in front of them and watch them twist themselves in the ground trying to justify it.
Yeah.
There's no justification for shooting 2.5 times more free throws than the second opponent. In fact, I believe there's the same differential between the Lakers and Kings, first and second, is the same as like the Kings and 25th place.
Wow.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah. Well, those are some amazing numbers. And if you think about numbers, we asked this question yesterday. I don't know that the first 4 games or the 4-game regular season matchup mattered at all. The Warriors won 3 of 4. That's in all fairness. The last one, we know the Kings didn't play most of their guys. The first 3 were played in the first 12 games of the year. But here's some notes. We did some digging on this. The Kings trailed by double digits in every game. The first game, the Kings never had the lead. The last game, the Kings never had the lead. Game 2 of that matchup was interesting. The Kings were up 8, Dave, with 6 minutes to go and still lost by 3. And the third game, the Kings were trailing by 15, but won by 7. In this overall series on the Warriors side of things, Steph, he's been a savage, and he's great against anybody. He was 20 of 40 from 3, but averaged 33 points per game against the Kings with 5 assists. And I know a lot of people go, oh, they're going to put Davion on him. Well, Davion did guard him in those 4 games. So he's a problem no matter who's guarding him.
Honestly, I think for the Kings to win this series, I think they're going to have to – they just have to – God, this I hate takes like this, but it's how I really feel. They have to play their game. They can't get sucked into the Warriors style of fight, if you will. They just have to forget it's the Warriors.
Yeah.
You're going to have to, have Fox and Davion and whoever. You're going to have to switch out and just run with Steph as much as possible, fight through, go under those screens, do what you can do. And you're going to have to hope that as the game goes on and as the series goes on, you're just going to have to hope that you're able to tire out some of those older legs on the Warriors. Problem there is that a lot of those older legs, they got to rest a little this year.
Yeah.
That's the problem here, is that they got to rest. Honest to goodness, though, that's what they're going to have to do. Uh-oh.
What happened? Are we losing you there, Dave?
Am I here?
Yeah, we got you. It's kind of fading in and out for a second.
Hold on. Oh my goodness. Are you there?
Yeah, we got you, but it's muffled.
There you go. Hold on.
How about now?
Okay. Well, turn me down real quick, would you?
All right, we'll get you situated there in a second. I want to give one other number from this matchup that I think is intriguing, because I think this is one of the keys to the entirety of this series. Is Andrew Wiggins. In the 3 games that he played, the first 3, he averaged 25 points per game against the Kings on 30 of 54 shooting. He was incredible. But the whole key is, how much of a factor will Andrew Wiggins be? Which version of Andrew Wiggins are the Kings going to see? I think that's one of the keys to this series. We're going to ask more about that, too, to John Dickinson, Warriors Insider, when he joins us at about 9 o'clock here. Dave, do we have you better now?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll keep working on his end and what's going on there. Of course, Dave working from his home office. We are here in our studios, but here are some other numbers too. So besides the Wiggins part of this, again, in the 3 games he played against the Kings in that first 12, he averaged 25 points per game. He was awesome last year in the postseason. And he was an addition that I didn't necessarily love when the Warriors first got him, but last year he was great. He was great in the finals. He was great in the postseason. And he was a big factor. And he's missed so much time since the All-Star break. So what kind of version of Andrew Wiggins are they going to get? Now, on the Kings side of things, here's some numbers to take away from the first 4 games of this matchup. Fox averaged 25 points per game. He only played in 3 against the Warriors. Sabonis in the 3 games, Dave, averaged 21 points and almost 17 rebounds. The one that jumped out to me was ex-Warrior Harrison Barnes. Played all 4 games. He averaged just over 6 points per game. So they got to get a much better version of Harrison Barnes against the Warriors.
Yeah, and it would be great if Harrison Barnes, for example, if you could say, well, he's going to know a lot of these plays. Listen, this league, everyone knows everybody to a point. Everybody has scouts. Everybody has tape after tape after tape. I'm telling you, these guys all week long have been looking at all 10 video, if you will, of tendencies. They know how many miles per game Steph runs, probably what his heart rate is, and what type of gum he chews. That the numbers and the stats and the analytics these guys are going to have are crazy, and there's a place for that. But ultimately, it's just going to come down to matchups, dude, and it's going to come down to, we're going to do a lot of previewing. Here's the thing. If the Kings can make their shots, they're going to win this series.
Yeah.
If they don't, they're not, because they don't have the defense. They don't have the defense to counter them having a terrible game shooting. They got to make their shots. If they do that, they're going to win.
Yeah, and more times than not, and that's what people kind of get to that postseason thought. It's different in the postseason. Defense is paramount, and I think there's some truth to that, but if you can still do what you do best, and more times than not this year, Dave, the Kings did shoot over 50%, did get over 30 assists, did score over 115 points when teams were trying to stop them. Now you're locked in. They're going to find all the angles. But, the same for the Kings. I think we're going to see them be a little bit more efficient defensively because they're going to try to find their best avenue there. So that's what makes this all very, very exciting. The other question, though, that's out there that we're going to tackle next is how big of a factor will experience be? That's one area that is clearly in favor of the Warriors. We'll break that down when we come back here on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
There's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. And at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, we are proud to provide our best selection to get you there. Buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Dave, before we get into the experience question, which is really one of the areas that I think favor, obviously by the years of playoff championship runs the Warriors have had, it certainly leans in their favor. But Vegas is pretty good at this stuff. And I think there's been thoughts that the Warriors are the favorites overall to win this series, which is a 3-6. I find it odd, though, Dave. Game 1, the Kings are 1-point favorites right now.
That is interesting, and I think that's going to change. I think by the start of that game, the Warriors will probably be exactly that. The way odds work, just so people understand, Vegas will set an opening line, and then it's all about how much money is coming in on one side or the other. And I have a feeling that because the public is really probably playing the Warriors in this series, they're going to push that up, and they're going to be forced to move that line a little bit over to Golden State. Either way, it doesn't matter. I agree with you. I think that, by the way, I think the Warriors should be the favorite in this series. I do. And if you put a gun to my head and asked me who I thought was going to win the series, I'd probably say Warriors. But I also think the Kings very much could win this series. I told you yesterday, I think this thing's either going to go 6 or 7 and a Warriors win, or Kings win, or I think if it's a short series, I think if you told me right now the series was going to go 4 or 5, I'd take the Kings over the Warriors.
That's interesting. Why do you feel that?
Because I don't think the Warriors, as they are right now, well, here we're getting into jinxing mode. Screw it. I don't think the Warriors are in this form they are right now. I don't see them sweeping the Kings, because I also think the Kings are going to get at least one road game in this series. I also think the Kings will probably lose a home game, and that's not a stretch.
Yeah.
Whereas if the Kings come out firing on all cylinders and they really kind of surprise the Warriors, I think that's a very repeatable action. I don't think the Warriors ultimately can stop the Kings if they're on, whereas I think the Kings can disrupt the Warriors a little bit. I know that sounds homery. I know how purple glasses that sounds, but you're talking about a team that just hasn't been able to win on the road this year. You're talking about a team whose ratings aren't what they've been. Granted, they're going to turn it on in the playoffs. You know they are. The Kings just have to get past their nerves. If they can do that, they win the series.
You know what's interesting? I'm thinking back to, this is going to take people back a few years, but like Cavs Warriors when they played 4 times in a row. And I want to say maybe the second or third time. And LeBron is still such a physical freak, but there were moments where the Warriors were a few years younger or several years younger, and some of that collective group at that time. And I go, man, they're kind of making LeBron look old at times. Yeah, LeBron was still great and still a great series. And at times in that series, I would get that feel. And then overall, the Warriors would take 3 of those 4 series. The Warriors aren't ancient by any means, but they've been through a lot of playoff battles. In fact, Draymond, Steph, and Clay have played 93 playoff games together. Yeah. I think there's going to be times in the series where the youthful Kings will make them look like an older team. Doesn't mean that's going to be a difference in a game, but I think the same factor that people are going to experience is a deal. I wonder how much of it is, because I think maybe if there's a high leverage moment in game 1 or a nerve-wracking moment, well, the Warriors have been in that. Yes, the Kings haven't in a playoff game. That could feel like a factor, but I think that's a really tough thing to measure when people right away go, well, the Warriors are more experienced. That's 100% factual. How much of a factor is that? I really don't even know how to quantify that.
I don't either. Experience matters, I think. Let me qualify that. Experience can matters. You know, to the victors go the spoils, and history is written by the victors. And if the Kings win this series, it's going to be because the Warriors are over the hill, and this is the end of the dynasty as we know it. Here's something very interesting. You could make an argument that the Warriors have far more to play for than the Kings. And I know Kings fans are laughing at me saying that, but hold on a second. The Kings are young. Their core is young. This is year 1 of hopefully a long contending tradition. The Warriors, no matter how you slice it, they have more great times behind them than ahead of them. You have Draymond Green's money coming up, and Joe Lacob has already said that paying XYZ over the cap and all the taxes, that's untenable. There's a very distinct possibility that Clay, Dre, Steph core could be broken up. Bob Myers, one of the main architects of this entire thing, is very possibly, if not likely, in his final season. The Kings have the opportunity, if you will, to basically close the lid on this Warrior dynasty. And I think that's something the players on the roster are telling themselves and telling each other, hey guys, we have bigger fish to fry. This has been a tough year. It started with the Draymond Jordan Poole thing, and it's just kept going and going and going. Now it's all about us. If this is our last dance, if you will, then let's go out winners. And that is a huge amount to play for. Whereas the Kings, they want to win a title, but they don't have that type of history or pressure or anything like that. So come out, punch them in the mouth. And if the Kings win the series, it's because the Warriors were too old and over the hill. If the Warriors win the series, it's because they're the champions and their playoff experience was far too much for the Kings to deal with.
Yeah, I think we all, and I'm going to speak for myself, but I think a lot of us are guilty of, we go with the known. And what's a known here? The Warriors have won titles. We know it. We've seen it. It's happened. Last year, I think, is a really good metric for the Warriors because I thought let's go to April of last year, the Warriors were okay. They won their last, I think, 4 or 5 games, got into the postseason, and then ran through it. I didn't think they would. I didn't think they'd be champions last year, and they figured out a way. There's been other years where they've been the best team all year, and then they won a title. Much like if we were predicting a team like Philadelphia. Philly, they're not going to get through because they don't. Right. Well, that's what's happened before, but that's irrelevant to this year. And so I think we're all guilty of going, well, this is a championship Warrior team, and that's what they will do this postseason. They very well could, but we also don't know what the Kings are. Well, they haven't made the playoffs, so what are they? We don't know until they're in this battle in this specific matchup, and I think that's what makes it intriguing. And the storyline's terrific. I mean, the experienced Warrior team in Northern California versus this team that hasn't been there in 17 years, it just makes for a great storyline.
And I don't know that I've ever seen a situation where you had two teams play each other 4 times in the regular season, and I'm struggling to take anything out of those.
Yeah.
Game 1, that was in the middle of the Kings 0-4. Game 2, that was the Herter non-call when Clay fouled him. Game 3, that was seemingly when both teams went at it pretty hard, and the Kings were losing in that game, I believe, by double digits.
Yeah, and then came back and won.
And then game 4, the Kings sat everybody, and the Warriors had to win. Now, that's not taking anything away from Golden State. It's just on the surface, Golden State won the series 3-1. It doesn't tell me anything. I want to see. I think game 3 was the closest we saw of these two teams playing at full strength. And I'm not just saying that because the Kings won. The Warriors could have won that. I'd say the same thing. And I think that's the type of series we're probably going to see, a back and forth, both teams trailing by double digits, and then there's one left at the end of 4 quarters.
Yeah, I think both teams have that huge run ability and scoring ability that they can just flip an 8-point deficit into a 4-point lead. Both are capable of that. Both shoot a lot of threes. Warriors actually shoot more than the Kings. Both share the ball. The Warriors turn it over more. They've got more experience. They've got better defensive numbers. They've got to adjust, though. That adjustment to Wiggins, I think, is really, to me, one of the most intriguing things going into this series. And it's a little bit of a reminder to me, Dave, of the trade deadline where the Kings really didn't do much. Obviously, Kessler Edwards come in and kind of fit in, where other teams that made splashy moves had to make some adjustments. I don't know if it's exactly the same because the Warriors have played with Wiggins, but implementing him back is going to be a bit of an adjustment for them.
I think there's going to be adjustments all over, like you said. I think this is going to be largely Steve Kerr versus Mike Brown. It's going to be real interesting to see who wins the third quarter in this series, to see who makes the better halftime adjustments. The crowds, see if they have any sort of an effect whatsoever. I think I instinctively want to say you can just throw home court out in the series. I honestly could see either team winning multiple road games and losing multiple home games. It's just a matter of how ready are the Kings for the spotlight. And I'll tell you the one I'm looking at, the one I'm most curious about, honestly. We talked about Fox yesterday and how it seems like he's built for the playoffs. Kevin Huerter has playoff experience. So does Harrison Barnes. So does DeMontis Sabonis. How is Keegan Murray going to handle it? On the surface, Jason, it looks like he's unflappable. But we don't know what's going on under that calm exterior. I'm really going to be curious to see what his numbers look like in this series.
He's going to hit a game winner in game 1 and rip his jersey off in front of everybody.
and just show his like Iowa sleeve on one side.
Yeah.
And then he's got a tattoo of his brother on the other.
Absolutely.
On the other arm that looks like him, but it doesn't look like him. It's weird.
You've seen it.
I was not supposed to say anything, but yes, he was showing us in Portland.
Yes, we're going to get more on this series with John Dickinson, insider for the Warriors, when he joins us at 9:00. When we come back, we do have some play-in games. Remember, not the playoffs, but the rights to get in. The value of this. Has this been good for the league? We'll discuss that when we come back here on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports is Sacramento's new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Feels awesome. We deserve this. Let's go, Niners!
Purdy.
Purdy gonna throw, and it is Kittle in the back of the end zone.
Samuel.
Debo 10. Debo touchdown!
And McCaffrey.
Touchdown! CMC!
They all live here on Sactown Sports.
Your official home for 49ers football.
Family-owned Clark & Rush, celebrating 60 years of serving Sacramento. It's time to convert your gas water heater and furnace to electric. Just turn to the experts at Clark & Rush and Carrier. We electrify more homes than any other contractor in Sacramento. Plus, we'll help you get up to $6,500 in utility rebates. We'll even do the paperwork. Call or visit clark-rush.com.
Smart energy savings is what we do. Clark and Rush.
Call 916-245-2829.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Make your New Year's resolutions yet? Let me help. Trade out of that old car and into something safe and reliable, like a new Folsom Lake Kia with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Kurt Eldridge, and so many more. Plus, a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $85. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Attic Man Heating and Air Conditioning, Bill Eats RV, and Naughtywood Barbecue.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave telling you something you already know, which is your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new furnace or air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. All you got to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote now, today. Do it right now. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home. You don't have to have somebody come out and walk around your house and blah, blah, blah. Just do the quoting tool. It's so easy. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. I absolutely love these folks. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The NBA play-in tournament starts today with both an Eastern Conference and Western Conference matchup. The number 7 Miami Heat take on the number 8 Hawks in the East. followed by the number 7 Lakers taking on the number 8 Timberwolves in the West. Of course, the Wolves will be without center Rudy Gobert, who was sent home after punching teammate Kyle Anderson in the final NBA regular season game, and will also be without Jaden McDaniels, who fractured his hand punching a wall in that same game. Keep up to date with all the NBA playoff action at SactownSports.com. In Bay Area baseball, the A's fell to Baltimore yesterday 5-1, and the Giants lost at Oracle Park to the Dodgers 9-1. Due in big part to a career-high 7 RBIs from Max Muncy, including this shot in the 7th inning.
Bases loaded. Here's Max Muncy. Drives the first pitch deep to left field. It is back. It is gone. A grand slam for Max Muncy. Maxwell swinging the silver hammer for the second time tonight. And the Dodgers have opened it up in the 7th, leading it 9-1.
Coming up on today's show, Warriors insider John Dickinson joins us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. That'll happen at 9 a.m. to preview the Kings-Warriors matchup this weekend. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
This
Yes, it is.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
No, I don't think it is, but is this what they were playing in Breakfast Club when they all started dancing?
I don't think so, but if they did, it's a repeat from well, the video is all I can think of. It's Kenny Loggins, the volleyball video. Come
Yes, I remember that. Now I'm just wondering. I know it's not, but it's reminding me of when they all got high and then started dancing.
Right, and they're just like in Emilio Estevez. Yeah. I don't know
No,
what
this
song
is
that
from the most heterosexual scene in
The volleyball
cinematic
scene.
history, the volleyball scene in Top Gun.
What? This is the Top Gun volleyball song?
Song.
You're doing a bit.
Yeah, I know I am. Here's something that's not a bit. Just want to remind everybody what the Kings have in front of them. Steve Kerr has not lost a series to a Western Conference team in the playoffs as a coach.
That's all.
Like, at all, ever, in all their runs, everything. Now, they lost to, I want to say, didn't they lose to Memphis in the play-in?
Yeah, they had a double loss, right? Wasn't it Memphis and the Lakers, I think, a couple years ago?
Yeah. So there's that. But in the playoffs,
right,
Steve Kerr, it's really kind of amazing. It is very early 2000s Laker-esque, these dynasties the Kings keep running into. So it just makes for, listen, you know what that tells me, Jason? They're due.
Yes.
They're due.
Absolutely. And let's get into that play-in, though, Dave. I know the league added this a couple of years ago, and I think by and large this is good. I think the good about it, I'm going to go back to the Kings last year, who remember when let's even kind of take what some of the narration was the narrative on their trade was, this was an all-in deal for the Kings to get Sabonis, which we know wasn't true. But I think there was an element of that where the Kings made the trade to try to get into the play-in last year. Now, they didn't, and it turned out to be great for them this year. But I think what the play-in has done is, look, we didn't, besides the Rockets and Spurs, the Blazers were the next team to get eliminated. We had teams in play all the way to about game 80, 81, even 82, trying to get into the postseason.
Let me ask you this. Let's say, that narrative with the whole the Kings are trying to fast forward everything and get to the playoffs. This is a win now, blah, 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 blah. Like Domantas Sabonis is 80.
Right.
Let me ask you this. Let's say that was a fact. Let's say that they made the trade last year and Domantas Sabonis is 30 and he had the same year he had right now. Everything else is the same, but he's 30.
Right.
Would you still be okay with these results and that trade in itself?
Yes.
Even if that were the case, it's still worth it, right?
Right. Absolutely. And I think the Pacers were in the same part of that. They made the trade too. They were out of the play-in. They went for it to try to, one, get Halliburton, but to see if they can get the play-in. Last year, Pelicans were scuffling all year long. They go for CJ McCollum trade. They got into the play-in, made it through the play-in, and actually got to the playoffs. So I think this is good. I will say this, though, Dave. I think this is going to happen at some point over the years of this play-in if they leave it like this. Remember there was a few years back where I think everybody in the West was in the top 8 had won 50 games or more.
Yeah.
So you might have a team 7 or 8 that, let's say, has 50 wins.
Yeah.
And 9 and 10, there's somebody down there that's 10th that won 34, but they're just 10th because there's got to be a 10th team. And they win 2 games and knock out a 50. I mean, I guess that's all fair play, but I feel like that just based on odds will happen at some point.
I completely agree. And by the way, you mentioned New Orleans. So they play tomorrow. They host the Thunder. And maybe there's some Kings fans that it's not necessarily they want to see the Kings in the playoffs. They're just hankering to see a playoff game in person. So here's the deal. Jason, you could conceivably, this is no joke. You could fly to New Orleans, rent a hotel, eat, hang out for a couple of days, watch New Orleans host the Thunder, and fly back cheaper than you can go to the Kings game. The get-in price right now at Smoothie King Arena for that game is $26. It's $26. So, yeah.
Incredible.
It blows my mind. And I understand that even the Pelicans, they don't have the time. I don't know, man. I don't. I love New Orleans. You love New Orleans. I don't enjoy pitting fan bases against each other.
Right.
It just baffles me that New Orleans has a basketball team and Seattle doesn't.
I know. It is. It is amazing. I mean, and they've got a fun, likable team. I know they're still trying to figure out what's going on with Zion, but they've got that. They're in the play-in tomorrow. Today we know it's the Lakers and the T-Wolves and the Heat and the Hawks. The other part of, I guess, that would be a drawback, Dave, of this play-in scenario like this, like when the playoffs were set before, when it was 1 through 8 or 1-8, 2-7, so on and so forth, we knew the schedule. Like, we don't know anybody's schedule after this weekend. No. And I think some of it is the networks trying to figure out, okay, if the Lakers are in, where do we want to put them? They're going to be a big draw. But I don't know. I think everybody kind of likes to know their roadmap. We know these games are all going to take place, but what time, when, what networks? There's a lot of moving parts still here, and a lot of that is waiting on the deadline or on the play-in. And for that matter, Denver as the 1 seed, their reward, Davis, they have to wait till Friday night to find out who the 8 seed is going to be. So they have to wait that long before their game 1 on Sunday. They're going to have about 2 days to prepare. They'll know the 2 teams that are there, but that's a little bit odd for the 1 seed.
It's very odd. And I don't think we don't have enough history yet to really break this down and make a statement, but it will be kind of interesting to see over time how much a benefit or a hindrance waiting all that time is. On the surface, hey, listen, you get some rest those tired legs, do your thing. On the other hand, there is something, and we always go back to Kevin Herter talking about this at the All-Star break when we thought, hey, and I especially was saying, God, I kind of wish they'd all just go home and rest. He said, listen, dude, you take 2-3 days off, you're out of NBA shape. You gotta keep going, and that's something that can't be duplicated on a Stairmaster. You know, you have to stay in NBA shape. Okay, so these guys, obviously, they're going to practice, they're going to drill, they're going to do all that, but they're going to have a week off, man. That's a long time.
Yeah, and then the league, for their matter, for it, about money, about eyeballs, they're going to have, Atlanta, Miami, 2 decent fan bases, markets, certainly Miami, and Minnesota and the Lakers. I mean, you get the Lakers on tonight. There's going to be a lot of people watching them, either all in on Laker bandwagon, or there's going to be a lot of people rooting against the Lakers tonight.
I'm going to disagree with you for the second time on this show. Did you say decent fan base in Atlanta?
I did. I really meant Miami, but yeah, I gave the Hawks decent.
You gave him the benefit of that. God, Atlanta and New Orleans.
I'm sorry, that's like rounding up from a D to an A+.
That's a big roundup. That's a generous teacher.
No kidding.
Yeah. Atlanta is such a terrible, terrible basketball town. That doesn't mean there aren't diehard fans in Atlanta, but it's like, it reminds me of when, and that's part of what we're going through here. Like, it reminds me of when, God, wasn't it like Phoenix? This is just not that long ago. Not on this run, but it was on their previous playoff run a few years before that. Like, Phoenix couldn't sell.
Yeah.
They have playoff tickets available like day of. It's like, I cannot. I guess it doesn't make you better. No, it does make you better, but I don't get it. I don't understand it. And I'm really glad that Kevin Huerter's playoff experience came in Atlanta. He did get a chance to see Madison Square Garden right out of the gate, and that's a different story. But he's never, ever, and a lot of these guys never. Keegan Murray at Iowa, Kevin Huerter in Atlanta, Malik Monk in Charlotte or LA. They've never seen a home crowd like they're going to see Saturday. Yeah. As far as the Hawks and Heat go, I mean, it's tough for me to see the Heat not winning this series or winning this game. The Hawks are in a lot of trouble right now. Same thing with the Lakers. I think the Heat and the Lakers are getting a couple of wounded dogs here, and they just need to take advantage of that. I will save a caveat though. Let me put one little thing out, and I don't think I'm right about this, but just if it happens, I want to come back to it someday. The Lakers are hosting the Timberwolves. They're favored by 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
By all accounts, they should win this series. However, there's a thought process that I think is worth exploring in this series, and that is,
or the game, right?
Or in this game, I apologize. Rudy Gobert is a wiener, and that is well known. He is a top 3 wiener in the NBA. He's just a ween, and people don't like him, and he's prickly and weird and lame. There is something to be said about the rest of that team. Kyle Anderson, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, who's been hurt most of the year. There is this weird situation that could develop where they go, hey, listen, we got this goofball out for a game. Let's show everybody what we can do without him. We're good enough to beat these guys. And you know what? They are good enough to beat the Lakers. They do have a nice, solid team there. So I wouldn't completely like the Hawks are not good enough to beat the Heat. They just aren't on paper. The Timberwolves, if they get that us against the world mentality, but against their own teammate who's been exiled for a game, this could be an interesting game tonight.
We got Rudy Gobert online too. Rudy, welcome in. No, we don't. I wish we did. That would have been fun.
That would have been fun. Well, hey, shockingly, Rudy didn't show up.
All right, we will break when we come back. Who's hot and who's not?
Oh,
I don't know. We'll find out when we come back here on Sactown Sports.
It's Cattles and Rami.
Nimi was G League MVP runner-up. They run him out there.
I've seen as much of Nimi as I need to see this year.
Have you seen him since he held up that runner-up trophy?
I have not seen him since he played 4 minutes for the Kings when that same night Coach Brown came out in the pregame and said we're going to try to play Nimi.
I remember that.
We're going to give Nimi some run, which meant 4 minutes and then never seen
here.
again.
Might have found something here in Nimi. 4 minutes later, we did not find something here.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered flex steel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Folks, there's been some swings and misses, but he's at bat now, and here's the swing. This could be at least a triple, a home run.
Are you looking for a grand slam? Regain and optimize your performance. See what Pacific Men's Clinic can do to make your love life the best it can be. Pacific Men's Clinic's safe and pain-free, clinically proven procedure breaks up plaque and stimulates the growth of healthy new blood vessels. Call for your free consultation now at 916-545-7577. That's 916-545-7577.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Air and Solar, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Oh, who is hot?
Please tell us.
Jason, you'll love this one. Aaron Judge.
All rise.
I'm going to sit.
Oh.
He reached base Monday with his first inning walk, his 43rd straight game reaching base, the 4th longest streak by a Yankee player since 1940. The only streaks longer, Alex Rodriguez, the captain, Derek Jeter, and Joe DiMaggio.
Oh, wow.
You guys probably wondering who's not, huh?
Who?
Rudy Gobert, simply because
he is a top 3 wiener in the NBA. He's just a ween.
That's it.
It sounds like when you say he's top 3, it sounds like you have a list.
Yeah, who the other 2?
Let's see. Draymond's a ween and Chris Paul is a ween.
Those are your top 3 wieners?
You know what? I'll take it back. I'm gonna go.
Hey, give us actually let's do 4. Give us your Mount Wienermore.
Okay, good. Mount Wienermore in the NBA right now. Chris Paul, Dylan Brooks.
Oh, good call.
Hold on.
What's his face? Rudy Gobert and Draymond. That's probably a decent top Weenmore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good list.
Also, a quick shout out. I don't want to name the place because they've already dealt with it, but somebody alerted me to a local retailer, grocery, whatever, that had a I don't know if it was a beer or Doritos or whatever display, and it was all, and this is in East Sacramento, and it was all Warriors.
East Sacramento, uppity grocery stores.
Well, it was all Warriors stuff. It was all, shut up, Chris. It was all Warriors stuff. And it was all like the Bays team. The Bay Area loves the Warriors and all that. So somebody took a picture. We pointed it out. They got dragged pretty hard, and then they removed it. Now, listen, there's going to be mistakes. The Kings have sucked forever. And yes,
it's not a mistake.
Here's the deal. If you're a local establishment and you're especially on playoff week, when you're flying the colors of the team that the Kings are playing, you deserve to get dragged. If there's Warriors stuff in the airport, I'm talking to you, Sac Airport. If there's displays that are Warrior this week, bro, listen, you deserve to get dragged. So be preemptive and I have nothing at all. Be non-committed if you have to, if you don't have King stuff, but let's not see Warriors stuff up in our stores here this week, please.
Or next week.
Right.
Or the week after.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Nope. You're 100. And if you go, the Warriors so bad. Okay. That's awesome. If they do, which I don't believe that's the case anymore here, but if they do, then hey, sell your soul to the devil, punk.
That's right. Well, let's hear from our guy Draymond Green about this. He's talking about this Northern California series and how it should be important and how it's very critical.
I'm excited about this. I am very excited about this. Battle of NorCal.
the Warriors, and it's been a long time since this battle has mattered, if ever. And it matters now. Playoffs. Doesn't get much better than that.
I feel like he's doing like a game tease.
I kind of feel the same way too.
Kings, Warriors, next.
The problem is I was very complimentary of him earlier talking about his podcast. The only problem is that Draymond has a little bit of Romitis.
Yeah, the pause.
Oh God, it screws with me because I can't see the countdown on the clock.
Right.
I'm here for the Kings and Warriors, and I got to tell you, it's just these 9-month pregnant pauses he takes. But
by the way, that was me cleaning up a lot of those pauses.
Oh,
they're still pausing.
Really?
Yeah.
You could argue it's better than doing and stuff, which I do all the time. I get it, just pause. But God, we've literally, any board op at the station will tell you, we've literally had alarms go off at the station before, thinking that we're off the air because Jim Rome used to take such long pauses. Dre's got a little bit of that, but his point stands. However,
yeah. How about Draymond discussing the travel with this series?
For us, quite frankly, I like the fact that we matched up with the Kings because it is a short trip. Last year, our first round series was in Denver. Our second round series was in Memphis. Denver, altitude, 2-hour flight. Memphis, 5-hour flight, far. Dallas was our third round conference finals. 4.5-hour flight, far. Boston, finals, 6.5-hour flight, very, very, very far. So to start this playoff run with a bus ride, an hour and 5 minutes away, I'll take that.
Oh, well, they may be doing the bus because that's the weirdest thing about this. They have flown, Kings. I'm speaking from the Kings side of things. They've flown to San Francisco or Oakland, and they've done the bus. They've done either one. I don't know what they're going to elect to do here, but either way, that's as easy as, what, Brooklyn or the Clippers Lakers is the easiest possible thing you could have. Brooklyn and the Knicks, but this is right there, Dave. There's no stress on the travel portion of this trip.
Yeah, and I also don't take that as we wanted to play the Kings because they're easy and we're going to walk through them. First off, whether you're the Warriors, whether you're the Kings, if you want to win a championship, you should be cool with playing whoever. Like, honestly, hey, we can play the Bucks in the first round. I don't care if we think we're the best team in the NBA, then why would we hide from anyone? We're not going to, we don't need to play, easy teams to get an easier path through. I think the Warriors genuinely believe they can beat the Kings, they can beat the Suns, they can beat the Bucks or Celtics, the Grizzlies, whatever. And let's be clear here. The Kings are the Cinderella. There's no doubt about that. But you also have with the Warriors, you have two other potential matchups in the Warriors Grizzlies and the Warriors Suns that both have insane storylines attached to them and that I think truly the NBA ratings gurus want more. So the Kings are underdogs in every possible way, and I'm 100% here to just tick people off in New York.
Yeah. I think this is so intriguing for a lot of people. And it's one of those things like where I don't think it's because we're too close to it, Dave. We're into it. It's going to be very important to us as people that have waited for this for a long time for the Kings. But, it does remind me a little bit of Kings Lakers back in the early 2000s where it seems so big, so larger than life. And then when you realize what it meant to people in other parts of the U.S. and other parts of the world, they talk about that's the greatest series I've ever seen. It's like, okay, so it's not just us. It's not just us here because we're so close to it. I think this is going to be intriguing to, like when the Yankees and Mets played in the World Series, it was probably crazy in New York, but who cared here? But maybe some did. And I think when you get something that's so regional, it still can move the needle for other parts. And I think this is a series that's going to do that.
By the way, from the text line, who was it? Wheezy said, did he say an hour and 5-minute bus ride from San Francisco? Is that bus doing 100? That's a great point, by the way. It's not an hour and 5-minute bus ride at all. I'm excited. I'm excited for it, Jason. Can we be like bears and just hibernate until Saturday?
It feels like that's the right thing to do, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I want to remind everybody, Quick Quack Car Wash and Sactown Sports want to send you to a Kings playoff game. Head to SactownSports.com now and register to win a pair of tickets to Game 2 of Round 1 at Golden One Center, all courtesy of Quick Quack, a proud partner of the Sacramento Kings with over 30 locations in the Sacramento area. At Quick Quack, you can wash your car all you want with an unlimited membership and enjoy the fast service that will have your car clean, shined, and dried in under 3 minutes. So again, go to SactownSports.com and register for your chance to get to Game 2. I mean, all the games are going to be great, but any chance you could get there, that's going to be awesome for these fans that are going to have to pay a pretty hefty price to get in. But if you do, that's going to be an awesome experience.
Golden One West. Do you want to go watch a game? You know, listen, it's Chase Center versus Golden One. And I think there's no comparison, Jason. Golden One, local, operated, here for the customers, here for all of you. Chase Center. Anyone ever Google? You ever Google Chase? Just Google Chase and stuff.
Chase and stuff.
All of a sudden, I just started thinking of lawyers and stuff. Just look up Chase's history. You're talking about a bank that is not looking out for you. Not like Golden One for the people. Chase Center, typical perfect naming right sponsor. Might as well be crypto.com for all I care. So go fill that place up and drink their wine, eat their cheese, screw them.
We're all about the people. We are all about the people. We've got 1 hour left for the people. When we come back, Dave, to start the next hour, hey, former KHTK employee John Dickinson. He's been at 95.7 The Game. He's covered the Warriors. He's a host down there, post coverage, all things Warriors. We'll get a preview of this matchup. He will join us to start the next hour. That's coming up on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The regular season is over. Now the real test begins.
Kings will have the number 3 seed. They'll have the home court advantage.
Sactown Sports is your home for all things Kings as they enter into a first-round matchup with the Warriors.
Fox steps into 3. He stops a triple, and the Kings have regained the lead. But against the explosive Warriors, you can't hold your breath.
Stay tuned to Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com for the most comprehensive Sacramento Kings playoff coverage.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave telling you something you already know, which is your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new furnace or air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. All you got to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote now, today. Do it right now. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home. You don't have to have somebody come out and walk around your house and blah, blah, blah. Just do the quoting tool. It's so easy. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. I absolutely love these folks. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The Kings are in the playoffs, and Sactown Sports and Quick Quack Car Wash want to send you to a game. Head to the Sactown Sports website and register to win a pair of tickets to Game 2 of the first round at Golden One Center. All courtesy of Quick Quack, proud partner of the Sacramento Kings with over 30 locations in the Sacramento area. At Quick Quack, wash your car all you want with an unlimited membership and enjoy the fast service that will have your car clean, shined, and dried in under 3 minutes.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The NBA play-in tournament starts today with both an Eastern Conference and Western Conference matchup. The number 7 Miami Heat take on the number 8 Hawks in the East, followed by the number 7 Lakers taking on the number 8 Timberwolves in the West. Of course, the Wolves will be without center Rudy Gobert, who was sent home after punching teammate Kyle Anderson in the final NBA regular season game, and will also be without Jaden McDaniels, who fractured his hand punching a wall in that same game. Keep up to date with all the NBA playoff action at SactownSports.com. In Bay Area baseball, the A's fell to Baltimore yesterday 5-1, and the Giants lost at Oracle Park to the Dodgers 9-1, due in big part to a career-high 7 RBIs from Max Muncy, including this shot in the 7th inning.
Bases loaded. Here's Max Muncy. Drives the first pitch deep to left field. It is back. It is gone. A grand slam for Max Muncy. Maxwell swinging the silver hammer for the second time tonight. And the Dodgers have opened it up in the 7th, leading it 9-1.
Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
The hours aren't going fast enough. Saturday, game 1, 5:30, right here, Sactown Sports, 1140. Kings Warriors, game 1. Dave, it's like being in school. It is for real. It's like being in school in that class you didn't like, or most all the classes. And just I kept looking at the clock going, okay, it's almost, no, I still got 40 minutes. Okay, I got 38 minutes. I got 37 minutes.
The scariest part of every roller coaster ride is the wait in line.
Yep.
Here we are. Jason, should we have our guest here?
Yes, we are ready to roll.
All right. Well, I'll save that question. You go ahead. Let him in. Red carpet.
Red carpet time. Let's welcome in our first guest of the show today, John Dickinson from 95.7 The Game, one of our own, formerly here of KHTK, covers the Warriors. He's a host down there at 95.7 The Game. John, you're on with Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave. Good morning. How are you, John?
What's going on, fellas? Good to be with you. You guys still claim me?
We claim you, right? Really? Don't we, Dave?
Okay.
Yeah, good to be with you, John.
Good to be with you, Dave.
We claim all, it's John, and you know how Sacramento works. Like once a king, always a king. Once a KHTK, always a KHTK. But now, maybe we feud this week because now you're leaning Warriors. Maybe we don't talk after this interview. I don't know how it goes. It's the rivalry, right?
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. What is the storyline though that you're looking forward to most in a storyline that has so many connections between the Kings and the Warriors? What's the one that you're most excited for?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be fascinating. There's almost too many to count. Whether it's Mike Brown going from the Warriors to Sacramento and finally being able to be the head coach to turn them around, whether it's the Kings, who I think believe they're an up-and-coming team that maybe could make some hay and do damage the way that the Warriors did a decade or so ago, right? Could they be the new kind of hot, flashy team on the come here? And they've had such a great season, and a season where they valued the regular season when so many teams really didn't. And that's part of the story as to why they with the third seed. But then their reward for the third seed is you got to play a team like the Warriors that's won 18 consecutive Western Conference series and doesn't have home court advantage, but has won 27 consecutive series with at least one road win. Every single series where Steph, Clay, and Draymond have been together, and you're getting the defending champion as well, and everything that goes along with that. And you'd think it would be a motivated defending champion, obviously, after kind of sleepwalking at times in the regular season.
John Dickinson with us. John, Steve Kerr has yet to lose a playoff series to a Western Conference opponent. That's the amazing statistic, if you will, that's going around. So I'll ask you a cookie cutter sports radio question. If that streak comes to an end against the Sacramento Kings, how will the Kings have done it, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think a lot of it stems from the fact that the Warriors will probably not play buttoned up enough, and I think that is the Kings making them not play buttoned up enough. The Kings do, I think, when they play well, do things that coincide with things that the Warriors don't do well when the Warriors don't play well. They take bad shots. Their transition defense is horrible. There's a lot of the turnovers as well. I mean, the areas in which the Kings excel, sometimes the Warriors can get beat in the paint. Domantas Sabonis can beat them in the paint. Sometimes they overhelp off of shooters. You do that, the Kings have plenty of shooters who are comfortable knocking them down. And I think there's a relentlessness to the Kings that has been underreported or underknown, probably just based on the fact that a lot of the national media, maybe a good chunk of the Bay Area media, haven't seen them play on night in, night out basis, in that no game is really ever over. And one of the storylines of this Warriors season, and I'll just compare it to the Kings, the Warriors have not been great in close games. And they have not been great in close games on the road, but they've also kicked away some leads in games where they never would have done in prior years. And so the Kings, as you guys know, have been able to steal some games in ways that have been pretty spectacular. And so I think if the Kings are going to win this series, they're going to have to show the first couple of games that they're in it and they can go toe-to-toe. But their strengths at times, while they look like Warrior strengths, have actually been the kinds of things that the Warriors have struggled with. So I think in that sense, it's a pretty good matchup.
We're talking with John Dickinson, 95.7 The Game in the Bay. John, the I don't know if it's X factor, the mystery, let's say, of the series is Andrew Wiggins. Last year, their success, he was incredible. He had a great postseason run, a great finals. He's been out for a considerable amount of time. He will be back reportedly. What version of Wiggins will we see, and how will that impact kind of Kerr's rotations and the depth chart there?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think it remains to be seen whether or not he will start or not, number one, and number two, whether he will be able to play the full 30 to 35 minutes that the Warriors are used to having him play. I would anticipate he's probably not going to be able, at least at the beginning of the series, to be playing 30 to 35 minutes. But I do think he's somebody that the Warriors, because he's played so well in that Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, Kevon Looney starting lineup, when they played together, was still among the best, if not the best five-man group in the NBA. Even this season, when the Warriors had so many other lineups that struggled and so many other different combinations of players that they were forced to play together. So I think they would look to try and do everything they can this week, and they'll be on the practice floor formally, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the next couple of days gearing up for this thing. But I think the plan would be to get Wiggins back into the starting lineup with the other, big three guys in Kevon Looney. If not, I could also see them rolling with Dante DiVincenzo as they have of late. You got to start Looney against Sabonis. So I think the question, and sometimes the Warriors play around with the center spot, I think Looney will be out there for sure. Wiggins or DiVincenzo, but I think the fact that Wiggins and Gary Payton II both don't play a lot of minutes or may not be able to play a lot of minutes, Payton really good defensively, is in the 15 to 17 to 20 range. And so those minutes have to be covered from somewhere. Wiggins, I think, is part of it. I think Jonathan Kuminga is the wild card, the second-year guy who's just extremely athletic and I think has the potential to score when he stays within the framework of the offense in ways that potentially could hurt the Kings on cuts and dunk and transition and things like that, where the Kings can really get hit in the mouth of the paint in a big way by ball movement and cutting and things like that. But I think he's the guy that may be the odd man out if Wiggins is playing a lot. But if Wiggins can't quite play a lot, I think he's somebody that maybe plays a little bit more at the 4 spot, with DiVincenzo playing some 3. And really DiVincenzo and Klay Thompson kind of flip-flop between 2 and 3. But Wiggins was the Warriors' second-best player last year in the playoffs. I don't think there was much doubt after Steph. And in this series specifically, he's huge because I think if he is in the starting lineup, is the primary defender for De'Aaron Fox. And he's one of those guys where no matter who the Warriors play, he would guard Fox, he would guard Morant, he would guard Kawhi, and he would guard Kevin Durant. So when we're all talking about who are they going to play, they need Wiggins to basically be able to hold up and stand up to any of these teams defensively, whether it's the quick point guard or the wing that can kind of do it all.
John Dickinson with us. John, I'm not a fan of comparing eras statistically because the game changes, but I do think you can look at some psychology and maybe buy into it. We've talked about this, Jason and I, when you look at, for example, the 2000s Lakers, or really most dynasties, there's this sense eventually where the veterans who have played, 20, 30 more games a year than everybody else, winning championships, as Draymond said, they get bored in the regular season. It's hard to get up for the regular season. Then all of a sudden the playoffs come and magically everyone's healthy and they're all in full fifth gear. Do you buy that at all when it comes to some of the Warriors issues this year? Just boredom.
I think some of it was that. I think it was also part Steph Curry missed 26 games and Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole in training camp, and there was a little bit of an awkwardness they had to work through as far as all that goes. I think some of it was that, in particular on the road. I think they tinkered around with their rotation early in the year. They, I think, went into the season intending, Dave, to play a lot of their younger players, Kuminga and Moody, James Wiseman, before they traded him to Detroit as regular rotation players. And it just didn't work. There was a disconnect between that next generation of Warrior player and the OG. And it got to the point where early in the year, they had an 0-5 road trip where they couldn't beat Orlando and they couldn't beat Detroit, and they lost to Charlotte, and they just were terrible late in games. And it was basically the OGs wanted to coast and win games the way the Kings were winning games, 125, 120, 130, 125, but they weren't putting in nearly enough defensive effort early, and then the young guys were wrecking them when they were playing in regular rotation. And so Steve Kerr went away from that and started playing the veterans and basically buried the young guys for a while. They got their record back on track, and then right as they got their record back on track, Wiggins went out, and then Curry went out. And then they were holding on for dear life, trying to just get 5 teams. And then right as they would get guys back, they would kind of go back into this lull of a lot of road games and maybe not being motivated. And so they were on the yo-yo of not really motivated, and they get motivated, and then guys would get hurt, and so they would be kind of mediocre or mid at that point, and then they would get it together, and then more guys would get hurt, and then they would tell you that these 8 of the last 10 were the ones, 8 of the last 10 to go into the playoffs, that's more who they really are. However, even some of the road games in that stretch, Dallas, who ended up not making it, they were a joke. Houston, Portland quit a month ago and played nobody. The Kings played nobody against them on Friday, as you guys know. So a lot of these road games, a little bit, hey, they didn't really do a lot. And then a lot of the home games, they get down 10 or 15 before they start playing and have been fortunate enough to be able to come back. I'll tell you one thing they can't do in this series. You can't come home, whether it's 1-1 or whatever the heck it is, and get down 15-20 to the Kings, because they'll just score on you. And I think at that point the Warriors would be like, oh, damn, like we can't flip a switch in an individual game like we could against the Pelicans or the Timberwolves or some of these other teams.
Well, it's going to be fun. I know we're all excited for it. I know we'll see you up at these games here, John. Thank you so much for giving us a preview, and we look forward to seeing you out at the arena.
All right, you got it, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you. That is John Dickinson sharing some really good insight on what it's been for the Warriors, these 82. What will it be like coming up? We got more reaction to what some of the things John had to say. Dave and I are back with more right after this on Sactown Sports.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Near the banks of the Sacramento River, Perry Dye of the famous Dye family of golf architects designed Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course as Sacramento's #1 course for fun. Dye's design and mixture of holes assures players of a fun-filled day with friends. Bartley Kavanaugh's moderately sized greens and generous fairway landing areas make for an affordable and fun round of golf. After golf, relax on the outdoor veranda with a cold beverage or a tasty meal. For tee times, visit BartleyKavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Couple things coming up still before the end of the show. We will have our celebrity birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. We got Let's Go Streaking still to come. Dave, sounds like they're bringing us back. Local TV. We're going to be doing a final segment on the TV.
You know, I saw that, and that's amazing. It's going to seem really weird to the viewers, like how different your studio and my studio is. I had somebody, we were talking earlier about like playoff beards and tattoos and God knows what. I had somebody online make a compelling case, although I'm not a huge fan of it. They said they wanted me to shave my head for the playoffs. And I was like, shave my head?
You've done that before.
I have. And it's like, so first off, matching you and Jay, who shave your head.
I was going to say, if you do it, I'll do it.
Yeah, me too.
And then secondly, something cleansing about like with the hair being shaved, like all the failure and losing goes away and start anew. And I mean, there's playoff beards where you grow something out. Is there a head shaving where does that count?
I mean, if it's part of the gimmick, it can be, but
I'll shave my head tomorrow on the show.
Show.
I should have done it today. I should have just sat here with clippers and
while you're in your home office.
Mm-hmm. Of course, it does make my head look far bigger than it already is, which is already really, really big. I don't care. I'll shave whatever if it means I can win. Yeah,
that's it. That's the whole thing is if they can win. I think what John said, I'm glad you asked him the question about the regular season, like trying to parcel out, like, look, this is a championship team, a dynasty team, and they had to play 8-2 basketball at the end to be the 6th seed. Now, that's kind of irrelevant come the opening tip on Saturday, but I think there is something to that as far as the difference of the regular season day between the Kings and the Warriors. I think the biggest difference is, 1, health. 2, when you're a team that hasn't made the playoffs for 16 years and 16 seasons, 17 years, you were doing everything you can, all 82 games to get there. And that was the obvious #1 goal for the Kings. Now, they exceeded it. Everybody was talking about playing, or maybe can they be the 6th seed if everything goes well? Well, they got all the way to the 3rd and as high as 2 at one point. I think this regular season we just witnessed for the Kings, 1, might be the healthiest we'll see from a group, might be the most motivated we'll see from a group. It's tough once you've tasted the playoffs a round or two, and certainly what the Warriors have done, winning 4, to, I don't want to say care about the regular season, but to be as motivated to be the top seed, because Also, that organization has won 73 games. They're likely never going to break that.
No.
What does winning 55 to 45 really mean to them? I mean, I don't know that there's really a difference as long as they get in the tournament.
It's human nature. It really is. When you've gone down that road so many times, it's like asking the Warriors to be this excited or as excited as the Kings and Kings fans. We talked about it before. We've seen it in our own fan base. We saw it back in the 2000s on that run where every year, if you didn't advance beyond the previous year, it got boring, which included, first, second round playoff series where I was like, yeah, okay, let's get over it. Let's get back to the Western Conference Finals. It's all about winning a title. Now imagine that feeling in the most loyal of fan bases, any fan base, after you won multiple titles. Of course, that's going to be an issue. The question is this. Are they going? Is this going to be their final run? Their final path to glory? And next year, everyone, everything breaks up. Maybe not as much as the Bulls, but people break up. Is this where Shaq gets traded? Whatever it may be, when we've seen dynasties end, or was that last year? And are the Kings, the Detroit Pistons to the Lakers back in the finals when nobody could imagine? Remember, nobody could imagine. Phil Jackson didn't lose in the finals. Shaq and Kobe didn't lose in the finals. There was no way that was going to happen. And you know who eventually did it? Chauncey Billups and the Pistons, who to this day remains one of the craziest finals results ever. And to this day, no disrespect to the Pistons, I don't think they were the better team than the Lakers. I think they wanted it more. The Lakers were done. They were tired. They were drained. They were in the fishbowl. It was way too much. And eventually, that's generally how dynasties end outside of injury. So, listen, I don't know how the series is going to go, Jason, but I will tell you this. I think it could be a sight to see for these Kings. If it breaks right, I think we could have a lot of really surprised people out there and surprised at how easily this team is able to dispatch the Warriors if it goes their way.
Oh, I mean, if it was something like that, I think that'd be stunning for a ton of people. I think people are intrigued at, is this the potential finish of the Warriors? And I don't know that that's the case, even if they were to lose to the Kings or even lose in the second or third round, who knows? But I do know the one thing that they were talking about as an organization, and I think Joe Lacob was talking about it, was like the dual timelines. Like, they've got this aging group that's been so amazing, so successful with the Kerr and Clay and Draymond and Steph. But look, here's Kuminga and Moody and Wiseman, and like they could maybe keep this going and have this seamless transition into the end of Steph's run, right into the meat of the prime of those other guys. Well, they've moved on from Wiseman. Kuminga's nice. Moody hasn't been the guy they thought. Like, I don't know that they're going to get that they were looking for, at least the way they drafted it a few years ago when they were a great team and still got the number 2 pick. I mean, that was really great fortune. They've had some things go their way, but they've also created this by drafting very well and keeping that core together, and then, getting pieces around it to just make it a dynasty here.
Yeah, that whole dual timelines thing has gone out the window, and I actually thought they gave up on Wiseman a little early, but I also understand he's going to get a lot bigger of a role in a place like Detroit than he would at Golden State right now. Warriors don't have time to screw around necessarily. Kevon Looney is a very serviceable center who I think is actually underrated. He plays every game. He's a guy that's there when they need him, and how everyone knows their roles on this team. And I think that's a really underrated part of good teams. But when you go to Mike Brown and you go to these Kings, I think they got tricks, man. I think they've got, I think they are incredibly confident right now, and not overly confident, but they feel like they can hang with this team.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think there'll be a natural sense. Game 1, 5:30, running out the tunnel. There'll be some nerves, but I know they're going to be prepared. I think when you talk about lack of experience, what does that look like? What does that mean? I think maybe that can show up in the first game, possibly. I think it can show up in a big, high leverage moment late in the game. Maybe someone, maybe Fox is at the free throw line late in the game and needs 2 free throws. Is the moment too big for him? I don't think it is, but until he's put in that spot, I don't know. It doesn't mean that, Steph's been in it far more times. He can miss free throws. I mean, sometimes you just miss, but I think we'll lump that into, well, these guys are inexperienced. They weren't ready for the moment, whether that's right or wrong.
Well, I think you're right, and I think that's really the unknown factor. That's why it's so difficult to predict this series. I think if the Kings and the Golden State Warriors were going to play 10 regular season games, let's say in February, they played 10 in a row just to do it. I think the Kings would win at least 6, if not 7 of those games.
Interesting.
But that's not what they're doing.
Right.
They're playing in the playoffs. And I've talked about this argument I used to have with our old friend Nate Goodyear that you saw recently up in Portland. We used to have this all the time. He didn't believe in clutch. He didn't believe in pressure. His point was, it's still 90 feet from home base to first. It's still 10 feet. The basket pressure is overrated. And we used to get into it all the time until finally, go play that game of operation, the one where your hands shake.
Yeah.
Go play that game of operation, but play it 10 times on a Saturday, and then let me come over on Sunday and grab your cat and put a gun to its head and sit in front of you. And if that red nose goes off one time in that game of operation, it's bye-bye Fifi. And see if
interesting analogy.
Well, that's what I use for Nate because he's a cat guy. And it's like, see if pressure matters then. De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Malik Monk, all those guys, they've made hundreds, if not thousands, of free throws in their careers. But have they done that with the crowd going crazy and they're down 1 with 5 seconds left and they're in the playoffs and they look over and they see Mike Breen or Doris Burke or Jeff Van Gundy and they know that tens of millions are watching around the world? Steph Curry done that in his sleep. Klay Thompson's done that in his sleep. That's the thing you can't account for.
Right. And that's the unknown. That's again, one of the other many elements that makes this super, super intriguing and to get started on Saturday. All right, we got a break here. We come back. We've got more to get to. When we return, we got to get an update on streaking. How do we do with our hit streak? We'll pick a player today as well. And Celebrity Birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. That's all coming up on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
The last time the Kings won the Pacific Division, Weber and Peja were rocking Arco Arena.
Weber with a rebound. Kings break out. They've got 4-on-3. Right wing feed. Christie touch pass. Peja behind the back of Weber. Howard down the right hand.
20 years later, Fox and Domas have turned Golden One Center into a madhouse.
Fox to Sabonis. Sabonis scores in the low post.
Congratulations to the Sacramento Kings for winning the Pacific Division title for the first time since 2003.
And the Sacramento Kings have just won a Pacific Division championship.
Great team, great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking when is something too good to be true? When it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in Radio Land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for a free personalized arch support fitting and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com. Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com. 0 down with approved credit.
Warehouse Paint is where the local pros go for all of their paint project needs. Enjoy same-day turnarounds, same-day color matching, color consultation services, and free job site deliveries. With a large in-stock selection of PPG and Benjamin Moore paints and stains, and an expert sales team that is here to help, Warehouse Paint has exactly what you need to complete your next project. Visit warehousepaint.com to find a store near you. That's warehousepaint.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current. Roseville Electric provides you with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. Whether you're looking to go electric, reduce your carbon footprint, or simply save on your monthly energy bill, Roseville Electric has a solution for you. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports Headlines, I'm Jay Mars. The NBA play-in tournament starts today with both an Eastern Conference and Western Conference matchup. The number 7 Miami Heat take on the number 8 Hawks in the East, followed by the number 7 Lakers taking on the number 8 Timberwolves in the West. Of course, the Wolves will be without center Rudy Gobert, who was sent home after punching teammate Kyle Anderson in the final NBA regular season game, and will also be without Jaden McDaniels, who fractured his hand punching a wall in that same game. Keep up to date with all the NBA playoff action at SactownSports.com. In Bay Area baseball, the A's fell to Baltimore yesterday 5-1, and the Giants lost at Oracle Park to the Dodgers 9-1, due in big part to a career-high 7 RBIs from Max Muncy, including this shot in the 7th inning.
Bases loaded. Here's Max Muncy. Drives the first pitch deep to left field. It is back. It is gone. A grand slam for Max Muncy. Maxwell swinging the silver hammer for the second time tonight. And the Dodgers have opened it up in the 7th, leading it 9-1.
Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing? We're streaking!
Yeah, we're streaking is what we're doing. What we do is we pick one batter a day. And if they get a hit, our hit streak continues. Dave has the going into yesterday has the longest hit streak of anybody at 2. He had to restart though. Let's see how we did, guys. Dave, yesterday you took Bryson Stott.
Yeah, I did.
Random pick from the Phillies, and I looked and go, oh my gosh, the Phillies got 20 hits. Dave had to have gotten a hit, and you did. You got a couple of hits.
That's right. Let's go streaking.
So you start anew. You're at 1. I was working on 1. I needed another hit to go to a 2 to tie Dave for the longest hit streak of the season. And I picked from the Giants, Wilmer Flores. Giants scored 1 run, a solo shot from Wilmer Flores.
Yeah.
So I'm streaking, and Jay Mars finally got to play. He had put in Will Smith for game after game after game after game after game. And Jay, wasn't Will Smith 0 for 3 until his last at bat?
He was. And
How
then
did he do?
He had a little infield single to Flores, who bumbled the ball, and the Giants ruled it a hit. So
Not an error?
Not an error.
Oh, Jay's streaking too. Look at that. So we have the whole show streaking.
Well done.
Dave is at 1. Jay is at 1. I'm at 2. So guys, it's on us to pick again. Dave, you go first. Who are you picking today? You just cannot pick Bryson Stott.
No, as I said, I'm going to alternate between the Giants and then anyone else in baseball just to keep it fair.
Yep.
Jay, he used to be on your squad.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what Jock Peterson's middle name is?
I used to.
Bro,
Something funny.
What is it?
His parents named him Jock Russell. I didn't know till today. He is Jock Russell Peterson. I love it. His brother's name is Tiger. I love that too. I'm going with Jock Peterson against his old teammates.
I like that. So Dave has Jock Peterson to try to get his hitting streak to 2. I'll try to get mine to 3 with New York Mets shortstop Francisco Lindor. I'm going to go there today. Jay Mars, you have everybody but Will Smith available to you.
Well, I told you my other strategy is this. It's like, okay, who are the big hitters going right now? Then who's hitting against the A's?
Oh, come on. You're picking on the A's like everybody else?
Listen, it's kind of that same strategy in fantasy football. If you don't have a good defense, just pick the one who's playing the worst offense.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Adley Rutschman today.
Oh, from the Orioles. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Good
See if we can
prospect.
continue streaking. There we go.
I'd like to address something on the YouTube chat, and thank you all, whether you're on YouTube, on the text line at 916-339-1140. By the way, I'm at home hopefully for the last day today, doing a little COVID quarantine. Still have not tested positive, thank goodness, knock on wood. Scooter brings this up in the chat.
Scooter.
Why do we have to replay the Grand Slam over and over again? You wouldn't do that if you weren't a Dodger fan. And
you know what? Had Jock Peterson hit a Grand Slam last night and the Giants won 9-1 over the Dodgers, I'd be playing that.
Scooter,
but that didn't happen.
You're 100% correct, Scooter. You're 100% correct. If it was the Reds versus the Giants and someone, you wouldn't be hearing this the whole time.
Yes, you would.
No, you would.
If Barry Larkin hit a Grand Slam, it would be all over the radio.
That'd be a huge story.
Wow. Is that the only Red you can name this year?
Yes.
No.
Chris Sabo.
No, I can name the 4th highest paid player on the roster. That's Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr.
And happy birthday to Ken Griffey Sr. yesterday, right?
And get out of your feelings, Scooter.
Oh,
He's not his feel. He just, we're on a Sacramento station having to listen. Why don't you play your Laker highlights too?
Listen.
He will tomorrow in the play-in, right?
It was for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it happened. It was a huge story. It adds context. I'm just reporting the facts.
Dave, we'll have to test this in, I don't know, a week or so when the Giants are, I don't know, playing the Pirates. And if the Pirates have a Grand Slam, are we gonna hear it? We'll just take mental notes of this.
Yeah, we will, of course. So then again, the Pirates, I don't think they've hit a Grand Slam since 79, but
it's Willie Stargell.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Wow, shade at the Pirates and they don't even know it.
I mean,
They lost O'Neal Cruz already.
They did a little fracture, right?
They do have Andrew McCutchen back. That's fun.
He's back there?
Yeah.
I did
you
know.
see it, Jason? If you haven't seen it, I'll find it and send it to you. It is one of the things that makes baseball so awesome. When McCutchen had his first at bat at PNC Park, like I love, obviously it was this huge standing ovation, right? And McCutchen, you could tell, was very emotional. It meant a lot to him, and he by all accounts is a wonderful person.
Yeah.
But the things that I love in baseball when stuff like that happens is like the catcher finds an excuse to like go up halfway up to talk to the pitcher. The umpire like dusts off the plate for half an hour. Like they all find reasons to allow somebody to have their moment. And I always key in on those is very cool.
Yeah. Oh, the catcher mysteriously in the only game all year adjusts his shin guards. Like this one fell off. I gotta put it back on.
He looks like he's got icy hot in his jock, folks. He's on his way to make a change, and look at that ovation.
Yes. Well, since we're kind of juggling things a little bit here, the last segment, Dave, they're for some reason putting us on the TV besides the YouTube. So you guys ready to do some celebrity birthdays? We got a sponsor. We got to acknowledge the great Crumble Cookies.
Crumble cookies.
So let's celebrate some birthdays here. We got a couple minutes, about 2 minutes on this April 11th. Guys, happy birthday. It's not a great list today. I'm going to just say it and be honest. Happy birthday to Mark Teixeira.
Tex.
Yeah.
Teixeira.
Yeah. Spell it too, by the way, if you could.
Is it Texeira?
No.
Texieria.
There's an I before the first X. TEI.
Who cares? He's 53.
Okay, 53.
Dave? Mark Teixeira is 49.
He is 43. 43 for Mark Teixeira.
Wow,
how about local product? Folsom High. Jake Browning.
Went
to Washington in the NFL.
34.
No. Jake Browning's like, what would Jake be? Jake's probably 26.
Jake Browning is celebrating his 27th birthday today.
That's close.
Happy birthday to former King Ramon Sessions.
Sash.
39. Told you it's a big birthday.
Yeah, Ramon Sessions is, I'm going to say he is 40 today.
What'd you say, Jay?
39.
He is 37.
Oh.
There you go. I think that's our list, guys.
All right.
Are you serious?
Well, there's
Crumble Cookies getting their money's worth.
Jason Veritek and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I know we're running up against quick Jason Veritek. How old is he?
47.
He is 49.
He is 51.
Wow.
Happy birthday to those guys. All right, we'll come back. We got a final segment. Looks like we got a little crosstalk with television. That's coming your way. Straight ahead.
It's Cattles and Rami.
He's using Irish Spring bars in 2023. They still sell them, so obviously enough people. I feel like between your Irish Spring and your CBS TV shows, you're a whole nother demographic, man. Wow. And between you taking your shoes off to poop and using a loofah, you're also a different demographic. I think most people are pooping shoeless, though.
No.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave telling you something you already know, which is your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new furnace or air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. All you got to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote now, today. Do it right now. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home. You don't have to have somebody come out and walk around your house and blah, blah, blah. Just do the quoting tool. It's so easy. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. I absolutely love these folks. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The Kings are in the playoffs, and Sactown Sports and Quick Quack Car Wash want to send you to a game. Head to the Sactown Sports website and register to win a pair of tickets to Game 2 of the first round at Golden One Center. All courtesy of Quick Quack, proud partner of the Sacramento Kings with over 30 locations in the Sacramento area. At Quick Quack, wash your car all you want with an unlimited membership and enjoy the fast service that will have your car clean, shined, and dried in under 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered flex steel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, for our radio audience out there, we want to let everybody know, Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave here. We're going to be joining our partners here, KCRA and My 58, Mike Cherry, Brittany Hope, I believe, Dave, in just a matter of minutes. And are they going to get to see Gus the Bus?
Yeah, you know what? It's TV, so we're breaking it out. He's a TV veteran. No problem. He is ready to go.
Okay. What do you think they're going to ask us? Any weather questions, news, or you think it's about the Kings and the Warriors?
I think it's when they want us to break down the Giants and A's offense this year and how all that's going to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun. We did that last week, 2 weeks ago up in Portland. So it's always good to check in with them. And that's the thing is right now there is a genuine excitement about this team in this community. You know, we're so dialed in every day with the Kings and sports fans, but just this has become a bigger, broader story now that the Kings are in the playoffs and is catching everybody's attention.
We're going to get to talk to Mike Cherry. That's all I care about.
I think so. I know Mike and Brittany Hope are the ones working today. So I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but we're going to be ready to roll when they're ready for us. So we kind of have to work, TV, they have their own like timelines here and stuff.
Yeah. And guys, by the way, I know you know this, I can't hear the IFB, so you'll have to let me know.
Yeah. I may have to just jump in and let you know that we're going to be told when we're about a minute out. We have not been told that yet. So we will just kind of keep rolling here as we count down the days, count down the moments, and it might be closing in here sooner than later here, Dave, as you can probably see them. Can you see them on your video? So we will be connecting with them shortly. Thanks again to John Dickinson who joined us earlier. Do want to let everybody know as well that the playoff push is going to be coming up at 10 o'clock. Chris Watkins, Whitey Gleason, they will be coming your way till 2. And then, of course, Cattles and Rami to round out your day. So coverage all day long, every show as we lead up to the playoffs. And they can't get here soon enough coming up on Saturday, Dave. I think everybody's just anxious at this point.
Very anxious, extremely anxious. In fact, this is probably going to be my only partner for the game on Saturday. It's a dog.
Yeah.
Dog doesn't talk garbage.
There you go. I think we're going to their feed right now, Dave.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Stockton Fire serves a 91 square mile area in Stockton and parts of San Joaquin County. They have 196 sworn firefighters and 46 personnel.
All right, let's talk NBA right now. Live look at the Golden One Center. We're just 5 days.
All right, stand by.
First playoff game in 17 years. That's wild. They host the Warriors game 1 of the Western Conference quarterfinals on Saturday at 5:30. If you thought the tickets were expensive yesterday when we were talking about them, well, don't look at them today. You're going to have to pay more than $400 just to walk into the building, and at least $700 if you want to get anywhere near that court. All right, this morning, we're talking about the Battle of Northern California. Golden State heads again into town this weekend. We're going to be joined right now by Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross from Sactown Sports with more on this matchup. Guys, thank you as always for sitting down with us.
Our pleasure. Good to be with you.
Thank you, Mike. You also see a special guest. You got Gus the Bus in here with Carmichael Dave.
Oh, look at that. Okay, see, I had to look up, and now I can see. I love this. We'll save some questions for Gus as well. All right. Hey, so defending champs are up first. Kings had the better record this season. But the Kings right now are underdogs, according to Vegas. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's because the Golden State Warriors are the defending champions. I think it's because they have 3 Hall of Famers on their team. I think it's because the Warriors are literally the most experienced team in the playoffs, and the Kings are the least most experienced team in the playoffs. But there's a reason why we all know the term upsets in sports. So whether they're favored or not, we know the term upset because upsets happen. And on paper, this is an incredibly fun matchup for both squads.
Yeah, I got to imagine. Will the scoreboard actually go up high enough to keep track of all the points in this one?
Well, I think that might bode well, Mike, for the Kings. I mean, this is the number 1 offense. If they can play that game, I know the Warriors have all the experience, and that's what Dave's talked about, and they should get all the acknowledgement for what they've done. But if the point total goes high, I think that's an area that will truly favor the Kings.
All right, we'll toss this up to both of you. Kings have the best record in the West, or road record rather in the West. Warriors have the worst road record in the West. So how do you think that could factor into this matchup?
Well, it would tell you then, if you look at the numbers, that having home court advantage is a disadvantage for the Kings because they have a better road record than home record. But honestly, Mike, you can throw all this out. The Warriors are also tremendous at home. There's a lot of experience there, a lot of coasting, I think, for Golden State. And also, Sacramento's not that bad as their record says at home. I expect each team to get at least one road win in this series. It's one of those series that you can just throw the home and road records completely out, I think.
Yeah, I think tradition in history tells you that you're going to have to win a road game in each building for you to advance to get the 4 wins. And Mike, I think the other storyline too will be how many Warrior fans are at Golden One, how many Kings fans will be at Chase. I mean, I think there's going to be fans from both teams in each building, and that's what's going to make it even more fun for this series.
Yeah, I was going to actually bring that up because the tickets are selling like hotcakes right now, but it's really an open opportunity for Kings fans to sneak in. So what are your concerns as far as, having a big Golden State Warriors contingency inside that arena?
It doesn't seem that big when you're winning, Mike. That's the bottom line. If the Kings are winning at home, you're not going to hear those Warriors fans. If they're losing, you're going to hear them all over the place. And I expect a large Sacramento Kings contingent going to Chase Center so we can rename it Arco West. Let's be honest, Golden One, better bank than Chase. I mean, we've got everything going for us. And here's a stat from earlier. You legitimately, like, you could fly to New Orleans today. You could stay there for a couple of days. You could go to their playoff game or play-in game tonight against Oklahoma City and fly home for cheaper than one home ticket. $26 is the get-in price in New Orleans right now for the Pelicans. That just goes to show you how popular this ticket is when you put it in perspective in Sacramento.
Really is unreal. Okay, we'll get you guys out on this. In terms of matchup, we haven't really talked about how do you contain a guy like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, but the Golden State Warriors have really had a trouble with health this year. Kings have been healthy for the most part throughout. So when it comes to head-to-head matchup on the court with those starting fives, how do you see things playing out during this, at least game one?
Well, for me, for game one, I think one of the keys, Mike, is the injuries that you're talking about. Andrew Wiggins has missed the back half of the season here for the Warriors. He was instrumental in their playoff run and their championship run last year. They're going to have him back, but what level of effectiveness will he have? And I think you're right. That's been one of the hidden secrets of the Kings' success this year. Their health. They've been healthy. They will be healthy. Their group is ready to go. I know Dave and I are just so anxious, just cannot wait for Saturday, 5:30 for game one.
Is Gus a therapy animal? Because it is National Therapy Animal today, or Pet Day, rather.
He's my therapy. I'm not going to either of those playoff games this weekend. I'm too much of a whack job. So I'm going to stay at home alone in my TV room with this guy who doesn't talk trash. He's not going to drink any of my drinks or take any of my snacks. Well, he might do that actually. And in the end, he's going to love me unconditionally either way. This is my road dog right here. Mike.
Gotta love that. All right, Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, we thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mike.
All right, look at that.
Hey.
We did it. Gus got some time and even, kind of questions directed to Gus.
Yeah, he got a little shout out. Yes, he did got a little shout out. Oh, he did. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, Jason, multimedia stars right there. What do you
pretty much. I mean, I don't know what else to do now. I mean, do we have to write something to cover that medium? I mean,
get all this makeup off my face. Yeah.
Good stuff.
What are we doing here? Catch me up, because I know
we just got a few moments left, and we're getting ready for Whitey Gleason and Chris Watkins. I know they're outside. We're going to bring them in. They're just going to come like storming in the door. They're ready to go. They want to talk. We got the playoff push. These guys are ready. Whitey's ready. Chris Watkins is ready, and he's making his way in here. So we're going to bring in Whitey Gleason. And Dave, as the week goes on, too, we're going to have more coverage, more interviews tomorrow, of course. Analyst Wednesday, right? Kenny Thomas will join us. Katie Christensen as well. But we do have Whitey Gleason in the studio.
Hello.
Hello,
yes.
Whitey.
Hello. How are you doing the birthday game today?
Every
I won yesterday.
Every answer was 38. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you gonna be able to hear Dave? Do you have headsets?
I'll get them.
Is this your first show? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, do you have a poignant question? You asked about the no funerals for Whitey yesterday. We didn't want any more King's funerals. Do you have anything for Whitey today?
I always have something for Whitey. I guess I would say this. Everyone's putting out like different King's flavored songs right now about the beam and the Deepog chain and just whatever. But what people forget is there are albums, dare I say, cassettes, 8 tracks,
Yes. Originals
with Rise Guys classics. Like I forget the name of it, but it was
right.
The King Tut one and many others. So is there going to be a Whitey Gleason song in the works?
You never know. All I can say is when I find the Kings in times of trouble, Brother Jerry comes to me speaking words of wisdom, light the beam.
Oh my God. I mean, are you serious? Come on. That's you know what? Lennon, McCartney, Gleason.
Yes.
And then get Paul because he opened the golden one, right?
Yes.
Get him to come out, and I could sing it, during the playoffs against the Warriors,
Yeah. Do you have a personal favorite song?
The
song?
I don't like any of them.
No?
You do them and you go, oh my God.
I still, to this day,
I know which one.
What?
Hito's got a great big nose.
Hito Shuffle.
Hito. Yeah.
Every time it's on, I sing it, the Rise Guys version of it.
Yeah.
Not Boss Skaggs, I think?
Yes, that's right.
No, throw his
That's
away.
right.
Sure. Every time.
May need to update the references a little, so I'm working on that. But
not for me. Just keep singing it that way. It's an older song. I use that as well.
Yeah.
What's coming up, guys? Chris Watkins in studio as well. What do you guys got coming up over the next couple of hours?
I'll tell you one thing we're going to dive into at the jump is who has the most to prove in this series. And there's one King in particular that to me stands out. I don't know, Chris and I may be, kind of at odds as the show gets underway today. So we'll see.
Okay, you already differ on this.
Yeah, I think we may.
Yeah.
I think we may.
I'm a little scared about that.
Slamson has the most to prove.
Slamson? What has Slamson done lately, honestly?
Yeah. Janet Jackson, what has he done for us lately? Get that into a song, please.
Yeah. Well, Dave, hopefully we have you back in studio tomorrow.
Yes, I think I will be, unless I fail my test tonight. I think I'll be back in Rudy Gobert style, touching all the microphones. And, I'm going to give Whitey a big fat hug when I see him. Yeah.
If he comes in, that'd be okay. If he doesn't come in, we'll
also
deal with
okay.
it. Yeah.
Fine too.
All right, that's it for us. Thanks again for our guest today, John Dickinson, for the folks at KCRA and My 58, for Jay Mars, for Carmichael Dave, I'm Jason Ross, Whitey, and Chris Watkins coming your way next right here on Sactown Sports.
Are you ready to hear this?